Hey everybody, it's Joker here with Players Wanted. With me, as usual, is my partner in crime, Yordi. He's over that way. And we're doing another From the Barracks tonight. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. But first, let me bring in our guest for this evening, the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody should know who this guy is. But if you don't, here is Greg Paparisi, the owner of DEO and Op34. Welcome, Greg.
34.
34. Apparently, we've grown a little from 31 to 34. That's okay.
31, Joker.
It's all right. He's nervous. I get it. He's only 3 beers in. We're okay.
Remember when I said that he's never here?
You know.
Right. Thank you very much for the intro. People tend not to know who I am because they overlook me. Right over the short joke. Get them right.
I got a box here for you to stand.
For those that don't know, Greg is my favorite little person.
I love hey.
There's no reason to hold back now. I mean, really.
He started it. I just jumped on. It's a bandwagon. I'm all for it. All right, per normal, guys. Just give me a second while we start getting everything going. I'm gonna start sharing off the stream everywhere so people can come in and watch. And we got to get everything going. I'm gonna start sharing off let me pop out chat here.
What do you want? Okay.
Why is my chat box not participating?
All right, up.
Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. One chat up. Now let me find the Facebook feed, guys. Sorry about this. Until we could actually afford to have more people help out, we're stuck with doing this all live as we go. So.
My dog wants to eat me. Like, pay attention to me.
So, yeah, Papa runs Op31 and Dead End Outfitters. Op31, if you guys don't know, is a nice little field over in Punta Gorda, Florida. It's an outdoor field. They put a lot of work inside the field. And if you're in the South or Central Florida area, I highly recommend going out there when they reopen. So, Papa, go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about what you do, and
sure.
All that fun stuff while I share things.
First, I absolutely would be remiss if I didn't mention, obviously, my partner Tiny in DEO, Alex Pasco. We would have to move the earth in order for him to get in front of the camera. And that's not because of his size. It's just he doesn't like to be in front of the camera. He preferred to be behind the scenes creating games. But he is my partner, my better half, my hetero life mate, whatever you want to call him. He's one of he's the biggest cog in the machine. He really helps make it all come together. We do have.
Glad you're wearing socks.
What's that?
Oh, that's a bad joke.
I also absolutely have to give credit to my team as well. They all know, some of you know, as far as building out the field goes, the only thing I have to do with that is cutting checks, because they definitely don't let me cut any wood. Hammer and nails are my enemies. It's not something I do. So they put all that together. John Logan manages the majority of the field as far as the builds go. We got Coyote, Justin, we got Josh Bowman, we got Modify Max. All the guys on the team really came together, especially over the last shutdown that we had. And those of you that have been out since, we've since built what used to be Future Base, is now called Yeti Base. It's an actual base now instead of an empty spot with a plan. And we've got a lot more in store. We're really trying to utilize all 9.8 acres. It's not a huge field, but we really try to do a lot with it. We try to add as much from the objective point of view as we do the attitude for the field. And you both have been there. You both have seen the way we try to run things, and the attitude, and just the overall feel for the field. It's just something we believe in.
Oh, it's a beautiful field, actually. I think I already been there twice now, and I do have a complaint though.
Hopefully there's something good to come after the complaint. Always come back with something good.
No, my only complaint is you need a bigger parking lot. You are getting too famous.
Yeah. That's, you know what? That's one of those good problems to have. You know,
Yep.
too many orders to fulfill kind of thing, which Joker has promised me he's going to come up with our Indestructibles. But we'll get to that.
I already got my light vest and the little light thing. I'm gonna start like going up to be like back up. And
Yeah, we never had, it wasn't a problem before, and now we actually have to have in the Saturday mornings we have ground guides come out and put people. We have begun clearing out behind where the eve is, the overhang. We're actually creating all parking back there. We're going to be able to at least double the amount of parking we have. In a matter of 2 years, we've grown from an average of 25 to an average of really no less than 65 per game day. So the support from the community has been phenomenal. And I mean, really, I could have never asked for this. This has just come to us, and it's truly a blessing.
Yeah, that field is, it's kind of fun where I go around and I don't know, I must have visited 25 fields in the past year now, different fields across the country. And I like the way that your field's set up with the lines and pathways and everything else. One side does not have a huge advantage over the other side, which is always great. So, I mean, that to me is always a big factor.
And also for those of you that are not afraid to get into the bushes and stuff like that, guys, the bushes are thick enough, but they're light enough for you to go through them. There's like little rabbit path and stuff. It's amazing. I love it. And I was like, man, I need to come back over here and go this other route because there's a lot of ways to reach to your objectives.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I do want to say, and absolutely I have to say this. I didn't start Op 31 by any means. Actually, if it wasn't for Op 31, I wouldn't be in airsoft. My son Dom, those of you who may know him, he wanted to go, and we found Op 31 actually when it was in its old location, and it was run by John Sparazza. People know him as Spaz, and he got the new place. We started going, and over time went from attending to helping out to cooking to then managing a shop. And eventually, when John left, he went to open up another field in Tennessee, and then made his way all the way out to other locations. I ended up taking over, and it's just been fantastic. He gave us a great foundation to start with, and we've only we've built on top of that. So I obviously would love to take a bunch of credit. I'm not going to take any credit that's not due me though. Without the team, without John having started it, and without the community, we'd be nothing.
All right. Yeah. And hey, that's always great when somebody does not take credit for what other people have done. My job is to just simply say, Greg, talk about yourself.
Well, like I said, I appreciate it. It seems weird to really talk too much about it and to take that kind of credit, because it is, at any given time, you guys know airsofters are fickle. They can, it doesn't take much to send, half your following away. We stay on top of it. You can't rest on your laurels by any means. We're constantly, and again, this is where Tiny comes into play, constantly coming up with new game types. Tiny spent, by the way, thank you for distracting him for about 3 weeks. All of the, you brought all of the all the different time bombs and all those, and he took him. He's like, I got this, don't worry. And he from research on the internet, and I think he learned Mandarin in order to work one of them. He got the majority, if not all of them, working. It's really without that kind of help, without that kind of support, without Tiny doing and everybody doing what they do, again, we wouldn't be where we are. But it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, Rob Wiener says, "Hi, hose." Doug Smith says,
"Where's
hello.
my wiener?"
Renaissance Gamer says, "Yeah, boy." Black Rose Photo says, "Captain Squeaky Cheeks."
Wait. That is actually what they used to call That's what Spaz actually used to call himself. So
Captain Squeaky Cheek. Trevor Edwards said it's the best field in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So, pretty much what we're here to talk about, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Op 31. We're going to talk about DEO. We're going to talk about some cool things that are coming out that I guess this will be one of the first things that people really start to see. And pretty much have a good time. We're trying to bring content in the age of COVID. So, so let's talk about the first thing. So I was there for the last day that you guys were open because you decided to make the decision to shut down Op 31 for the month of August. And everything I understand is that you wanted to shut down because of COVID-19. And so why don't you talk a little bit about that? What was your main deciding factor to shut down?
So like I said previously, we shut down a couple of months ago when the first, the first rendition of the pandemic came through. And everybody was, they were saying, we don't know what it is. We don't know what's happening. It's best if we, be as safe as possible. So, we just made a decision, bringing 50 to 60 to 70 people together probably isn't the smartest thing at the time. So we did shut down. What we tried to do during that time was, as you saw, we built up the field. And then I started opening the field throughout the week when I started to notice that people were just getting out. And I gave people just a place to go, a handful of people here and there. Barry, I think that's the first time you came out. You came out for a visit on a Thursday, I think, wasn't it? Or was that not your first time out?
That was actually when you invited me out. That was my first time actually out to Dead End Outfitters. There's been multiple times where we tried to come out, but something always interfered with it. Either you planned a day when I had obviously an event, which I told you stop planning stuff during events and I'll show up, or weather and everything else. And I was so annoyed because last weekend I was supposed to go to Stampede's field, Holy Cows, play there, and then the very next day I was supposed to play at DV8 and have a private game, but hurricane. So I have not played airsoft in almost 2 weeks now, and I'm like,
no, it was also my first time. Joker was the one that actually invited me. He's like, yeah, we're going to Dead End Outfitters. I'm looking at him like, that's a shop. That's not a field. In my mind, he's like, it's Op 31. And I was like, they have a field? All right, I'll go. But ever since I seen you, Papa, I think you were at Overwatch 5.
I was at Overwatch 5, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you guys were just a actual shop. I didn't know that you guys ran the field with Tiny and
and if you don't mind, and I will get back to the closing, but I got to say that there's the story of me and Tiny and Dead End Outfitters and all of that. Everything that he and I have done, and everything that Operation 31 has become, everything that Dead End Outfitters has become, is all probably the best natural progression, evolution I've ever seen in something I've ever done in my life. Op 31, like I said, I started out as my dad bringing his kid, and I'm retired from the Army. I went out there, I saw it, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I ever seen. I never even heard out. I've seen some paintball before. I played once at airsoft. I'm like, this is stupid. Look, grown men. This is absolutely dumbest thing. And from the outside, if you know nothing, you're like, wow, okay. And and then I would take him. I took him again. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll play with him. I get myself a gun. We play. It's kind of like throwing a ball around, and for someone who doesn't throw a ball. Right. And that started to grow. And I'm a tinkerer, so I started taking guns apart and started seeing what I could do there. And I started, feeding some of the kids at the field, and that grew that way. And on both sides, it started growing a little more and more. And I started something called, which lasted all but a day. It was 19 kilo airsoft. I was a tank commander in the Army. It's 19 kilo. And Tiny and I knew each other. Tiny was with Doomsday. And, one day I just decided I'm watching him. Everybody knows him. They go to his table and they rob him because Tiny had no idea what the price of BB's at and things. And he's too nice of a guy. So he's like, sure, take two. He would just give stuff. I'm like, all right. So I went to him and I said, look, I'm going to close up. We're going to be partners. He's like, oh my God, that sounds great. And we joined up, and that's how Dead End Outfitters became. We did it because, again, the motto at Op 31 is a field for players by players. And to me, that's exactly what that an effort is. If we're trying to bring stuff to the community that the community is either asking for and doesn't know exists or doesn't know to ask for yet. We're really trying to be as in touch with them as we possibly can without taking advantage of them. Our team is made up of guys. When I was asked, how do you become a member of the team? I said, you got to be able to fit in with those who don't fit in. That really is it. That's what airsoft is to begin with. The majority of people in airsoft are people that just didn't fit in anywhere else. Most of the kids that never played another sport. So this is that for them. Sorry.
Yeah, I can relate to that. When I first started playing airsoft was actually 12 years now, and it was in Venezuela. I was over there visiting my family while things were kind of good. Chavez was still in power. Actually, he was about to die, and my cousins. I didn't know that airsoft was a national sport in Venezuela.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
They have a professional league.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But when Maduro took power, it's all illegal now. But people were still playing. They were still hiding the replicas in between the fuel tank and the chassis of the vehicle. I mean, they made it happen. So my cousin, I was still in the Marine Corps at the time, and my cousin's like, "Hey, come play airsoft." Over there, they call it aire suave.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, no, that's stupid. Let's go hunting. Let's go shoot some real guns. And I was not for it. He's like, just come with me. Just come over and just take a look at it. So I'm looking. I went over there and just watched. And literally, I couldn't even last 5 seconds without me. All right, give me the fucking mask. Give me the goddamn gun. Let's go. And I got hooked. Ever since 12 years ago, I got hooked. So what I started doing is when I came back to the state, while we were still able to send stuff over there via shipping containers, I was sending BBs, buckets. I'm talking about 5-gallon buckets of BBs over there and batteries and stuff because they couldn't get anything over there. So they would send me. I'll tell them just give me half the money. I'll put the other half. Let's go. And uniform and stuff like that. And I still played over there with his team, his professional team. And then I got here to the States and I didn't play at all. And then literally one day I find out about Miami Airsoft indoor. Mm-hmm. I never played indoor before. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. So I literally went there with a t-shirt, blue jeans. And I was like, yeah, let me get the rental. I got the rental. I think they use KWAs, I believe. M16 style, M16A2. And I got hooked. And literally the next day I went on Airsoft. I remember this clear. I went on Airsoft GI and I spent $1,000 on one night on Airsoft. Then the next day I went on Evic and spent like another $1,500. So
you broke our rule.
No, I mean, I bought everything. I bought TVs.
My wife says I'm not allowed to look at the website anymore.
We had to sponsor you. See, she called me up. She said, "Please just give him something."
Let me tell you something. I spent all that money, and I did not spend one dime in uniform because everything that I use uniform wise, it's all actual stuff that I got in the Marine Corps and then the time that I did in the Army. So I got all my stuff. The only thing I had to buy was BBs, the replica, the batteries. The bump helmet. Oh, and by the way, speaking of bump helmet, this review is coming soon. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So see, out of our crew, this is the guy that likes to spend money on wait, hold on, let me do it this way.
Gucci.
Random gear. I can never do this. There we go. Wait, that hand.
This guy?
You got it right there.
Oh, God damn it. All right.
But that's how I got hooked into airsoft, man. I saw the community and it's a bunch of old guys over there grabbing all the youngster from the streets, instead of them doing drugs and stuff like that. And they bring that type of aspect to the airsoft community and they help kids out. And I hope one day I do the same thing here.
All right. So we're going to do a couple of quick more shout outs here as people comment in. Oh man, it's not showing up on the StreamYard yet, but Rob Wiener's got one of the funniest comments. I got rid of 2 wives so I can get a Harley and play airsoft. Let's see. Revenation says hello.
Wait. He said he got a Harley.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, shut up, Elias.
Get a Indian Challenger 2020, bro. Get
All right, crotch rockets. We're not going to talk
no,
about
no, no. It's not a crotch rock. It's a bagger, just like whatever he got. But I got the Challenger.
it.
And Rob, we wish you were closer too, pal. We'd love you to come on down and play.
Clutch
Yeah, sorry,
and,
I didn't mention about that.
yeah, Clutch and Such says, "Where's my wiener?" He's on the Facebook side, guys. So, so what we're pretty much going to do tonight is we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff here. So, so you guys pretty much decided to shut down because of COVID,
Right.
and so we got sidetracked. We always,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so we opened back up. We were playing for a little while, and obviously we had the resurgence. The numbers spiked, and to be honest, I stay out of politics. Unlike someone on this stream, I don't. Yeah, I do. No, you don't say. I do. For me, it's not. It's not about that. It's or if I'm seeing something publicly stated and the state moves into a particular phase, I'm not necessarily going to challenge it. I would rather err on the side of caution. So I spoke with the team, and we all talked about it. It hurts. None of us want to do it. I don't get to play enough as it is, but I love having the field open. I love having people there. We had 5 special events planned. One of them was going to be the North-South game that was going to bring everybody south of Naples up. We had Joker, I think I talked to you about this. We had all the guys coming from Miami-Dade Milsim. We had guys come from Tryhards. They were all coming up. We were going to do the North-South game. We had to cancel that. So it wasn't an easy decision, but we decided to do it. We decided to do it for the month of August, and we're going to obviously watch the numbers. Now, a lot has changed since the moment we made that decision, which was only a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. A lot has already changed. You see a lot of things coming out in the news about cures or treatments. I don't want to say cures, but treatments, things like that coming out. So could very well change rather quickly. And it's very possible that we'll be open on September 1st. The upside to us closing, obviously, is that we get to do more work. We're going to be able to do a lot more work on the field. Anything else that we had left behind, we're going to be able to get that done. So we feel terrible. I personally feel terrible taking that away from people. Some people rely on it to come out. It's a therapy for them.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
Well, I give a huge amount of props for any company that decides to shut down because they see spikes in numbers and everything else. So, obviously when I go to play, you notice the past few times I've been out there, I sort of keep my distance a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I do the elbow bumps only, and try to wear. It was really funny when the last time I came out, I was wearing a mask and people were looking at me side-eyed. I was like, oh, I'm not taking a risk. But I appreciate that. Oddly enough, that next week I got to go to D-Land because arguing against a particular field to make sure that they stay closed, because not only did they not do that, but they were specifically told that people were coming out there that had tested positive, and they decided to stay open anyway and banned me for reporting it, to them. So hold on one second. Out.
If you need, by the way, Greg, if you need any help, let me know. I'm only 25 minutes away from the field.
All right. Well, if you can carry a board or swing a hammer, we always take the help. We definitely take that. We're getting ready to get a machine out there to try to clear out, like you mentioned about parking. That's for us. That's the 2 next big things that we have going on are the parking and CQB. The goal for CQB is, as good as it is now, which is it's not bad, but we know it's been, I think that was built 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, something like that.
It's time to make it bigger.
And it's time to, it's time. Well, the goal really is to tear the whole thing down. And we're going to do it with the 3-story as well. Tear it all the way down. 3-story will go back up almost exactly the way it is, just more reinforced. And CQB is going to go up and be a little bit wider. And the idea is we're going to make it wider so it's more passable inside, almost as if you're inside a building. We're trying to really give that feel for it. So we're going to make it a little bit wider, maybe even a little bit longer, and expand that area of the field. So there'll still be passage around either side of it, but we're going to try to make it a little bit bigger.
do you need pallets, like heavy duty pallets?
No, not pallets. We're trying to stay away. When we had a whole bunch, we're trying to stay away from pallets because we did some pallet builds and they work great for about a season. And unless you're treating them and taking care of them, either the nails as they begin to rust or what have you, the boards fall off, or the boards themselves get rotted. So everything we're building now, if you see like how Yeti Base is built or how my kitchen is built. Thank you, John, again for that. The Dead End Cafe, I love it. We're building it with proper material, stuff that's pressure treated, designed to be outside.
So you need 2x4s, 4x4s, 4x6, 2x6s, 2x8, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Hey, I
can help you to get that.
I have a bunch of old fencing you could have.
Listen, if it's in any kind of good condition, I'll take it. Oh yeah, you just redid the fencing.
Dude, I'm having fun with this tractor. I cannot believe.
So yeah, we definitely. I mean, that is we try to take advantage of a bad situation. We try to turn it good in any way that we can. That's that should be the goal in any situation, as far as I'm concerned. But there's a good chance that the way things are looking now, September will be open, no problem.
And that would be great.
Yeah.
Cover the wood in outdoor carpet.
House.
That would be expensive. Outdoor carpet across. No.
We've looked at placing, the small polymer sheds that you can buy, but being able to find those for any kind of decent price compared to building, a 5x5, it's not, we don't make that much money. The field itself, obviously, like everybody, we all have jobs. Well, not now. I mean, 2/3 of us don't right now. It's not our full-time job. It's not something that actually generates revenue. Anybody who's in airsoft knows it's really, really hard to actually make money doing this. So everything that we do goes back. We go back and into the field itself. We go back and we just added 10 more rentals to the rental wall. We're now including everything on the wall. We're at almost 30 rentals, and that's almost not enough, which is great.
And I'll say that the rentals that you guys are putting out there, it's not like they're cheap rentals either. They're really good guns. Yeah. Like that one kid that was out, I guess it was his first time playing. I thought he was playing before because of the gun that he had on it. I realized it was one of your rentals. He lit me the hell up.
The A&K stubbies, which are the ones that we started with, I just rebuilt every one of them and put. I think every single one has a D-hop barrel in it now. They're all MOS-fetted. The majority of them are MOS-fetted. They're rentals, but it doesn't mean they should be junk. You should be able to shoot someone effectively. They're all in about an average of 360 FPS, which means no newbie's gonna be able to get out there and just really drill holes through anybody, but they're gonna get the effect. They're gonna get the range because of the D-hop barrel. They're gonna get the range with that. That's the second plug I've made for that so far.
Barrel. So what he's talking about with a D-hop is that he's done some stuff with his barrels that instead of an R-hop or flat hop, he did a D-hop, and I noticed.
What's that play?
He made a bad joke.
The D-hop. The D. Never mind.
Oh,
I caught it, and we're trying to stay here, Yordi, not down here. Here, okay.
You see this right here? Wait, over here? No.
So you threw one of those in one of my guns, and there was a noticeable difference almost immediately with the way that gun shot. So those D-hop barrels, if you haven't had a chance to check them out yet, I highly recommend checking them out. We have them in, I think, 2 of our guns now, and they're pretty phenomenal. So
what do you mean compared to the R-hop and the flat hop, the D-hop?
So
what's the difference?
I'll tell you, the material that I use is none of your business. I'm talking about performance. It's both the material and the process that we do it. So you'll notice right away if you look at one of our barrels, if you take it out, you take the bucking off, and you look down the barrel, you'll see that the entire window is filled from the inside, not just on the outside. So there is no dip inside. So it seals the barrel completely. So no chance of a skip with the BB coming through, no chance of it skipping off the window. That's the process. We're very cautious to make sure that we do that on every one of our barrels. The barrels themselves also, the material adds enough grip, but adds enough flexibility at the same time. So it's almost like using an all-terrain tire. It's not too soft. It's not going to wear out too fast, but it's not too hard. It's going to be too slick.
Are you using a proprietary what's it called? What's it called? The oh my god, bleh. Where the nub hits the
hop-up arm, the bucking.
Yeah, the bucking.
So we do shave the buckings ourselves as well. The barrels themselves are not special by us. We use Angel Customs. They're a fantastic barrel, and unless otherwise specified, we generally use a 6.01 for the D-hop barrels. We do 603s for people that are using guns that are higher rate of fire, just because less chance of maybe getting stuck in a type or barrel. But most of them are 601s. We can patch your barrel. Like if you bring a barrel to us, we can patch it, but we won't guarantee it. And what I mean by the guarantee is, I've told everybody this: if you buy one of our barrels, if you find a better patched barrel, I'll buy it for you. Absolutely, that's how much we believe in our barrel. So if you want to go to Umbrella Armory, you want to go to any one of them, that's fine. I love competition. That's great. If you find a barrel that's better patched than ours, I'll buy it for you.
That's what we call the swinging D, by the way.
I'm Joker. By now, I've handed you guns before, and I'm like, look, here's something about it. I want you to be careful. Let me know. Tell me what you see. I'm never overconfident about things because anything can happen.
It's really so. First off, I just want to. There's a question that came in. Tactical Sheep Op 31 is located in Punta Gorda, Florida. Gorda.
Yeah. We're right on the border of Punta Gorda and Arcadia, right off Route 31.
Yeah, and I wasn't that far away from you last week. I was actually at Fish Eating Creek, which is down the road. I told the wife, I was like, hell, we could just go another 15, 20 minutes that way, and I could be at Op 31. Nobody's there, but I can still have fun with the camper.
Yeah.
So just wanted to interrupt that real quick. Now, it's one of those things that I do it to everybody. It's like the first time somebody comes up and goes, look, I guarantee this. So I'm like, let me see. There we go. And then you put it inside my gun, and sure enough, boom. It's like, I like it when people stand by the stuff that they're doing. So, which that D-hop worked really well, really nice, smooth, consistent shots and everything else. So, I look down at my lobby and I see something inside the lobby right now. So let's just go ahead and click this little button, see who it is. We can't see who it is because he's sitting in the dark.
Hold on. Give me a second here.
Oh boy!
Echo,
The moment I saw the shed, I'm like, that's my wiener.
There we go.
So
tell Echo to turn the lights on. Sorry.
Ask me about my wiener, baby.
Yeah, right here.
I see. There he is. I see battery looking for my patch. There it is.
Every time I wear it, everybody's looking at me and starts chuckling. He's like, "What about your wiener?" I'm like,
my new patch is gonna be even better. Yeah,
my wiener is 6 foot tall and weighs 250 pounds.
Damn, I wish I was 6 foot tall.
Another. I do have another question, Papa. On my Instagram, my Discord, they just asked me, do you also do full builds?
Yes, absolutely.
We are going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Ow! You shot me with it.
And he's always trying to sell me a full build. So yeah, I know he makes.
Well, I decided to bring Winger on because Winger is always good. I always like to have 4 people on so we could just toss some stuff left and right and all that. But yeah, so we went over the D-hop. Now we're going to talk about the really cool thing that we got a chance to play with. So and we had a little fun with this. So
it's not me.
Eh, hey, we don't talk about that. Remember, socks were on. Anyways, so real quick, Chris asked, should he try a D-hop in his Psy Gray? I don't know what gun that is, but
That's a EMG Psy. The
Yeah.
gray.
So I've actually put
Just-
you even have a wiener dog. Nice. I actually have put one in. So in any gun that's not that doesn't have any change in barrel at all, just from a tech standpoint, obviously you as long as your compression will support a Type bore, put a Type bore in, right? If that's the game that you play. I've done 605s. I've patched 605s before. It'll work on any gun, on any barrel, because it gives a smoother contact. So to get the proper Magnus effect, to get the proper hop, you want smoother contact, better contact with the BB. So yes, it can go on. It can go into a Psy Gray. It can go into, and we haven't done pistols yet. We're looking at trying to figure out how to actually create a custom patch for GBBs because they're open windows. We haven't been able to figure it out yet. When I do, I'm sure that'll be a whole new market we can get into. But the AEGs as a whole, absolutely. I recommend them in any gun, regardless of what you're doing. I just did one in 249.
Do you also work on version 3 gearboxes like a AK?
Sure. V3. I mean, V3s. The gearbox itself is irrelevant when it comes to the barrel.
Okay.
Just the barrel. I just did a G36 for Alex Messenger. Again, one of the things that you get, obviously, you get generally speaking, if you go from a 605 to say a 601 Type bore barrel, you're going to increase your joule rating, the energy more behind the BB as opposed to.
I'll get with you later on after the live stream. I have a Dytac SLR crank, the smaller version.
Okay.
Full metal body, all that stuff. And when I received it, I noticed that it wasn't shooting correctly. And when I looked into it, it has the hop up unit's bent.
Okay.
Like it's messed up. I'll have you take a look at it.
For sure.
And get an upgrade. I really wanted to see, I would like to get my hands on one of those D-hop barrels and see how it goes on the AK.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I can give you. It's back together now. I was going to say I can give you an idea. I might have one here to show you. Yeah, I might be able to pull one out. It's if you've ever seen any kind of patched barrel before. They look similar, very similar. If it's a coated barrel, I usually take the coating off,
Right.
because it helps the bucking stick a little bit better to get a better seal. Other than that, you'll notice right away that the contact material is different.
Yeah, because what I want to do with that rifle is I want to give it away, and the way I'm going to give it away is if anybody can figure out what this is, you will get that rifle.
That's that hubcap to a certain.
No, sir. He should. Mr. 19 Kilo should know.
What am I looking at?
That's his chastity belt.
Is that a mine?
Negative.
The fuck?
No, I have no idea what that is.
I'm not gonna say. I am gonna
break
reveal
jump?
what it. I'm gonna reveal what it is in another video. I'll bring it to Op 31, and have you guys take a look at it in person.
It looks like
Okay.
it's Skywalker to me, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, real quick, we got a couple of questions that go on there. What about could you D-hop a PTW? Sorry.
And that, I believe they use. I need the stock as well. I believe PTWs use. They use standard window barrels, don't they? I haven't done one yet, but I believe they use standard window barrels. So yeah.
Don't look at me. The only thing I don't know what makes things go pew pew. I just take the gun and make it go pew pew.
It's obvious.
Go pew pew.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and pull full stream here and show us a little something here.
Yeah, there we go.
Bus,
All right.
battle bus. Wait, was that Hillary? Oh, sorry.
That's Rose, the battle bus.
It's
All right.
Killery. Get it straight.
Hillary. Okay, got it.
All right.
Well,
We
I was
ain't
being nice because
non-political stream. Knock it off. All right.
See, that's why I just
So-
said it. I didn't say who it was.
This goes into the next thing that we're going to talk about. So this was at Op 31 on July 25th. So this is actually the CQB field. And
Op 31. Yeah.
yeah,
I just said field. I went one time. I've only been one time because of where he's located. But I'll tell you what, I had a blast. I'm going to go back.
all right, everybody, I'm going to mute you all.
Sorry.
Why? I'm kind of busy here, Tiny.
What?
What? What's that? Oh. Oh.
I think this is where I shoot him.
Okay, next time you guys go, I'm going to have to make a trip down.
Yeah,
That was me.
September.
Yeah, that was me.
Very nice.
All right, so I'm going to come back there. I'm going to go find. So I want to show some of the cool stuff off in a minute with this. So we're going to be coming back to this one. I just got to find more parts of it. Yeah, Jackass shot me, so I got my revenge later.
This is what happened. So all I hear is like Joker, and he's like, "What?" I heard something like, "What, Tiny?" And I was like, "Oh." He's not looking, so I literally flanked to his left, and I was like about 100 and 120 feet away, and I just started. All I see is-
Yeah,
I'll give you
let me know.
$5 when I see a battery.
All right. So he does that. I have to respawn at Yeti base. And actually, let me pull this back up because you guys can see some more of the field if you haven't been out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful field.
And that is a beautiful gun right there. That
Yeah.
thing is so pretty,
I'm
so
afraid to
beautiful.
break it.
And actually, this is not the section I thought. So this is the back end of CQB. And I was just having a field day. The range on that gun was insane. So this is the Indiostructible. You heard us mentioning a little bit about it. Indiostructible, right? Oh, Jesus. Did I just fuck the name up again?
Indiostructible.
Indiostructible. I said it right 5 times. All right, good.
Idiot.
Now, mind you, at this point in time, guys, the reason why I'm not running up and all that is because it was 150 billion degrees outside. And I've already run. Oh, listen to that full auto.
How was the trigger? How was the trigger on that thing, Joker?
So light, it was not even funny. So I'm barely.
Because I don't see your finger moving. That's why I'm
It's because I made sure that
Oh, there we go.
yeah, it's a real light tap on the trigger. And I was going a little bit ham on it because I didn't want to go full auto. That was you actually.
Yeah.
That one was you. The other one was somebody else. That one for sure. Because I don't know if you heard it or not.
You scream, "Hey!" Yeah.
That was you screaming in the background. I got you, Joker.
Yeah, that was me.
So I like the field a lot. I like the way you guys have the setup done. Both spawns are roughly about the same distance apart. Well, yay, fast forward. Now is where I get my revenge.
Oh, you came from behind. You
Uh-huh.
sneaky little weasel.
So this is straight out from Yeti base. I love all the guys being tactical. I just walk. All right.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Joker playing. Like if you ever like on the team and you see him walking, it's like you're looking at Bigfoot walking around the brush. It's like, do.
I shot this poor kid who was already out.
Such a schmuck.
I didn't know. But here's where the fun part begins.
Fun for you. That's where he got me right there.
No, you're
I was in there.
You're right back there.
Yeah, I just got you the lake right there, bro.
Out. Okay. My bad.
That was also the day that we all got into an argument.
What the hell
Wasn't
happened? All right, so this is the part I really wanted to show you, Greg. So I was having fun with the gun.
Video ended.
Oh shoot, it's on the other. All right, hold on.
Looks great.
I know, right?
Okay, I saw somebody coming from that direction. Your gun wasn't up once.
Yeah, it's
Did
right
you?
about here.
Hey, Greg, when you built that gun, when you had it in the stock form,
Uh-huh.
and you built it, did it get quieter? Because it doesn't sound. It sounds quieter in person.
So yeah, so we do a lot. Obviously, we shim all the gearboxes and we put them together. It's also about putting the motors in right. Depending on the grip, you got to change the grip, and depending on the grip where you place the wires to get the motor to go in right. There is, I mean, by default, those guns being as skeletal as they are, as open as they are, you're going to hear every single sound. So we really tried hard to try to make it as quiet as possible. That's version 1. So probably in version 2.5 or version 3, we'll actually have we're working on a rubberized gearbox. So it'll actually absorb the vibration and noise from the gearbox itself. So potentially all you'll hear should be the piston on the cylinder head. So it should just be the exhaust of the air, hopefully.
All right. So this is one of the cool things you do that I do sometimes is I see a person out on the field playing, like this guy right here is having difficulty shooting somebody. So I decided to do this. I was eliminated.
That's awesome. I've done that before too. That's so cool. Yep.
He looks young.
He was young. So I gave a couple of tips and all that. So I know dead men don't talk. This was.
You were ghost. You were shadow.
It's a different kind of talking. You're just telling him how to do what he's supposed to be doing.
Oh, I gave away a position.
Oh, well,
See, but things like that is what makes airsoft fun for them to come back, because they were like, not everybody's a douchebag.
And that is that, and definitely would love to talk more about that as well. That is the whole principle behind Op 31. We're definitely family oriented, but not. We believe in airsoft as a family as a whole. We're a community. I've seen us come together before. DEO has come together on more than one occasion for other families. It's very important to us. It's important, Spaz left behind some great rules that we still practice today. Rule number 1 at Op 31 is all ego and attitude stay off the field. If you can preach that, you can promote that, and you can protect that, then you will actually have a field that is great every day. Because people aren't getting mad. Look, we know that hits don't always get called. What happens? It happens to everybody. Sometimes you don't feel it. Sometimes it's just that little thing in the heat of the moment. You're like, man, that wasn't a real hit. Whatever it might be.
Yeah, I understand, but I think the biggest issue in airsoft that I've seen, if somebody doesn't call their hit, I'm just gonna continue to hit you, or if I see somebody else, I'm gonna shoot them because I know, and whatever. But if you go to a field and you make the decision of not wearing a mask and you get shot in the face, you shouldn't cry about it or try to.
But it hurt.
No, it's not even that, bro. Like, they come up to you and they're, why'd you shoot me? I'm like, because it's the only thing that's visible, my guy.
I had the conversation today. Go ahead. Sorry, Joker. Go ahead.
So just going back in the chat real quick. Blade Shadow Chris said, looks like a disc grenade or a wall mine.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay. Revenation, this is not Stag, it's Op 31. Although Stag is a great field in itself. That's in probably the best field in Alabama, at least the one I've been to. And yes, Chris, it is the famous Joker walk.
I'm gonna put this up again so people can take another look at it, take a picture of it.
Yeah.
I have you
whoever
told me
gets-
what it was before, and I laughed.
Whoever gets this right is gonna get the AK that's gonna be upgraded by Papa, or a EMG
Is that-
Jack 9.
That's not the cap mag, is it?
Say that again.
The cap to the magazine.
It's not for you. It's for viewers.
If anybody heard what I said, make sure you say it. So before we go a little bit further, so if, you brought it up. Let me talk about the. I'll talk about the indestructible a little bit. If that's why you brought it up.
Oh, I definitely brought it because I want to talk about the gun. So let me first give some first impressions of what I had. Now, understand the reason why we don't have the gun to show like right now on the stream is because that is a beta version of the gun, guys. So one of the things that we do at Players Wanted, if you're a tech, you want to, there's the baby right there. So if you want a gun to be put through its paces, you want a gun that's to really be tested and run through before you're putting in something into production, that's what we do. So, of course, I did exactly what I needed to, and we found some stuff that needed to be worked on in the gun. That's what beta testing is all about. While it was working and it was doing phenomenal, it felt like a DMR. That's going to be the one I'm going to call my DMR gun from now on. The range was phenomenal. It was so lightweight because it's a skeletalized gun. It felt just about as heavy as my PCC-9, but I want to say it's twice the size. You know,
it's very long. That one was designed to be that long. Yeah.
So it was it was great. It was silent. It actually sounded louder on camera than in person. So nobody could really hear what's going on. The rate of fire was great. And the accuracy was balls on. I was getting probably 275 feet out of the gun because where I was shooting at, I was hitting beyond the van tower.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I didn't get to use it because it was so hot outside. Okay, you remember? I was like, I'm done.
It was you know what it is? The sun melted it. That's what happened.
let me tell you how hot it was, Papa. And I spent $5 in water.
And we sell water for $1. So
exactly.
Attaboy.
That's how much water I drank.
That is good. That's fantastic. I know that was a hot day. And it just so happened to be like one of the very few days that I wasn't there. I did get to rotate out, which was nice. So Blade Shadow, real quick, by the way, it's actually not, and it has F1 parts on it. And the gun itself is, you know what? I'll talk a little more. I just saw Blade Shadow mention the EMD.
No, talk about it. That's
so I'll bring it up again. So as far as that goes, it being an F1, it actually is an F1 receiver. The receiver itself is EMG F1. We love the receiver. We thought it was beautiful. It is a pain in the neck, to be honest with you, which makes it even better, which means you're going to see even fewer of these out there. Really, to get the right selector switch on there is a pain in the neck, to find it right, because they actually it's got raised holes for the selector. Everything about it, there's nowhere to put for a charging handle. There's actually nowhere to mount the charging handle inside. There's no screw hole. There's nothing like that, which is why right now there's no charging handle on it. We've decided we're talking about putting one on. We actually will have to tap to get the screw in, things like that. It's not necessary because of the design of the gun. It is skeletal, doesn't require it. So we've left that open. What you won't ever find is this body with this receiver.
Be right back.
The receiver is actually fabricated. It's actually cut to fit. So from factory, that receiver will not fit. So if you look close, that receiver will not fit the.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. Bring it up. Oh, my own camera. There we go. So the way that's cut in there, that's actually cut to fit that receiver. That rail is not designed for this. It will not out of from factory fit there. So we actually had to make those fit. Also, the stock, in order to, this is a mil spec receiver. This is a non-mil spec stock. So in order to get this stock on this receiver, and patent pending, we actually designed a buffer tube adapter. So this is what we've got right here. This actually goes in. It has the wire guide built in. This actually goes into your mil spec receiver, so that you can fit a non-mil spec stock onto a mil spec receiver. We're hoping to get that into the EVIC Spotlight. That would be wonderful if we could do that and get these out to people, so more people can have the stocks that they love on their mil spec receivers.
Are you going to once you do some more builds like that? Are you going to be doing custom Cerakote, or are you just going to leave them stock colors and then let the people do their own thing?
So I'm not. So we were doing and still do some of the stock colors. So we have red, we have blue, we have and black. We haven't done any of the gold really. We are going to be doing some of the painting. We're not going to do Cerakoting. The reason why we're not doing Cerakoting, across the board, our whole goal is to try to save people money.
Right.
A full custom gun like this, everything about this is handpicked. So everything from the motor grip and the motor, and if you look inside, it's got a Leviathan electronic fire control unit, right? So it's a Bluetooth EFCU. It has the Max hop up unit. Everything about the gun is handpicked, custom from the ground up. So it's not going to be a cheap gun, but it's also not $1,500.
Right.
We're not doing that either. Whereas you find a gun like that. I went on. Don was telling me about some custom gun companies. Go on and you find that they've got these VFCs and things like that. They take the VFC and they throw a couple of parts on it, call it custom, and they double the price of the gun.
That's insane.
That's absolutely crazy to me. There's no way in the world we would ever do something like that. It doesn't make sense. When I have somebody say, I'm getting ready to buy a $450 gun, can you upgrade it for me? I'm like, hold on a minute. If you're spending that kind of money, I don't want to do that, because to add in the parts alone will be another $300. But now you're at $750. Let's not do that. Let's talk about what it is you're trying to make happen. Joker was talking about this shooting like a DMR. FPS wise, it comes in at 395 based on .20s, right? Joule wise, I think Joule rating was 1.4 something. I think is what it was, somewhere around there.
It was 1.5.
1.5.
But okay, so
Hold up. Real quick before we do that, Kevin Crisper Walker said, "Yo, Wiener, what's up, bro?"
What's up, Spanky?
All right, and then Tactical Sheep said, "All right, Cerakote, I would see. I would calm. I don't know what the hell that means.
Just breathing hard.
To get it coated and laser engraved. I know a guy.
Yeah. No. So laser engraving on these we don't do. On the DEO3s and a lot of our other ones you may have seen. Some people have seen. We actually do. We do our own engraving. We actually have our logo engraved, but these there's almost nowhere to engrave, which is why we didn't do it. Absolutely. If you do engraving, shout it out, post it, let us see it. Love to. We love local business, so for sure, if you do something, we'll send something your way. The Cerakoting thing we were talking about before, Cerakoting is very expensive, comparatively speaking. So if you're picking up a $650, $700 gun, like, oh, but I'd like it Cerakoted. Well, now we're at $1,000. Depending on who's doing the work, and I don't know that I want to charge somebody that kind of money.
Hey, well, you might not want to, but if they want to spend the money,
I get that. I do. I do understand that. It's hard for me. It's hard for me. You see the kids come out and they're ready to spend all this money. They don't know what they're spending it on. most guys like you guys have either been playing for a while or have the money or know what you're doing. When you're ready to do that, you've got the expendable capital. You're like, all right, exactly what I'm spending this on. I'm not
My
missing.
wife doesn't think I have expendable capital.
You're not missing next month's rent payment because you went out and bought an indestructible. That's the thing. So and it's expensive enough as it is. So we try to keep it down. Our barrels, $60. The barrels are $60. If you need the hop up and everything installed, it's a total $100 package, and I'll install it on the gun.
Okay. Real quick. Rob White jumped in. DEO 49. The Greg game Saturday. No. Op 31 is shut down for the month of August. Rob, Bulldog, and Bulldog also says "F you, Wiener."
My buddy, we're actually going to Richland Siege next weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to the Richland Siege too. I missed out on the tickets for one.
Way to go. Jeez.
Hey, look, when it came up, it was already sold out. By the time I saw it, Richland Siege 1 was already sold out, so I'm going to Richland Siege 2.
I'm actually setting up my new vest because Bulldog and I are actually running out for with Dark Horse out of New York.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So that's an op I'm looking forward to. I cannot wait because you guys are also going to Iron Fury, right?
Iron Fury and Sirius Viking. And I'm looking at going to Elkin, North Carolina for another Offline Club event.
Okay, because I'm also doing Fold. I don't know if Battery's going to go or not, but Fold the Gap. Are you going to that Battery? Do you ever make up your mind?
When is that at again? That's
the second week in October. I mean, second week in October.
Oof. Pick me up on the bus on the way up. I'll go.
We're bringing the bus. I'm waiting for them to open stuff up so I can actually get.
Yeah, but you're going for Pull the Gap. You're going as a Marxist, right? The ACU.
No,
Ooh.
no,
okay.
that was for Bad Blood.
Oh,
but we are going Warsaw though.
So that's green.
No, it's tan.
Oh, tan.
I see Wiener just shaking his head right now.
No,
Yeah.
I would go. I can.
The only way I would go if you promised me a 24-pack of beer.
I got you.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's easy. I got you.
I'm a cheap date.
That's what your wife said.
I liked. Sorry to to go away from it. I really liked. I really liked the field for Fold the Gap. That field kicked my ass, flat out. All the ups and downs and everything else. That field was rough. But we will have the gun truck, the battle bug. The bus will not be ready to play on yet, but it'll at least be there to show off. So, and Bulldog says blah blah blah.
That's the only thing he knows what to do.
Blah, blah, blah. Bulldog.
I am so glad I'm on the other side of the screen.
That's okay. I got to ride up with him all the way to Columbia next weekend. So I got to be nice.
Hey,
I always end up with some kind of bruise on my shoulder or the side of my head. What's that? Sorry.
So, Tactical Sheep. For me and Milson West, it's probably going to be a love-hate relationship. I probably will not do one until I'm more comfortable sleeping outside and doing the actual 40-hour thing.
I'm already there.
I know.
I will only go to Milson West just to fuck around with Josh Warren. Literally, I would piss that guy off so bad, and I'll be like,
I like pissing everybody off.
No, I don't. I love you.
I know. Hey, everybody loves a good wiener.
All right. So back to the Indestructible. All right. Since we segued away, that gun is going to be phenomenal. I mean, most people don't realize it, but the way it handled, the way it felt, you did not feel like you're holding that big of a gun. That's what I loved about it. So I cannot wait to get it back in my hands. That's right. I'm used to handling big things. So
I was going to say something, but never mind. I'm going to keep that.
And the funny thing too was when Greg was building that gun out, he going back over to what he said about trying to make sure that the guns were affordable and everything else. I actually told him to put the max hop in there.
Yep.
I said, put the max hop in. You don't need it. I don't care. It was the exact conversation that we had.
And that's not to say that the Max is not. Look, Max is a fantastic hop up. The features behind it and all of that, it's fantastic. It's one of those things that's more than necessary, though. I've found several other hop ups that work just as well, if not better. But to your point, obviously, yes, one, it's a notable hop up. Certainly works better, looks beautiful, all those kind of things. So we took your advice and went ahead and put it in there.
Which hop up was that? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
The Max hop up.
Max
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Max Pro. That thing. Now, I honestly also want to say that I think that might have been part of the problem too. That's going on the discussion on there, because we had the same problem with the feeding issue with my PCC9 that was just upgraded. So, yeah.
So Maxes are a little weird. They don't actually take a standard M4 like. So we went from a standard M4 nozzle on your gun when we had the hop up in there, and went to the Max, which is the Max ME, which is supposed to be the M4 hop up. And even if you measure it, it is almost a complete millimeter off in size. I actually had to get a new nozzle, which is obviously you knew what the delay was. Had to drop down to a 20.5 millimeter nozzle to put in there so it would actually feed properly. And even still, you ended up having feeding issues after about 5 mags. So I had to go back in and take a look and see where the issue was right there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the Max. Again, it's a high end, and as with most high end, there's very high tolerances or low tolerances. Things are very tight. So not having that 100%, not knowing exactly where it is, there's been some time constraints trying to get your gun to you, and every time we come around the next corner, we hit another wall. But,
hey, that's the world of COVID, though. It's like, yeah, it is what it is. So Bulldog goes, heart punch headed your way. I do regularly piss off Warren. Good night, guys. You're boring me. Well, Bulldog, you're boring us too. Go to bed, old man.
Love you, Bulldog. We'll see you.
Wait. Don't forget to drink your Ensure.
I'm going to pay for this, not you. You know that, right? Maybe we should live stream next Thursday when we're driving to Columbia. At least have some witnesses or whatever in case I end up dead.
That's great. That's awesome.
Ever since I met Bulldog for the first time, man, I was like, he reminds me of my grandfather.
Oh shit!
He's
gonna kick your ass for that.
Oh, dude.
I'm just gonna say sorry. That's what your grandfather was like.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you were born. That's what happens when you were born when Jesus was a private in the Marine Corps.
I gotta stop laughing at that because I'm dead. I'm dead.
I don't know if he's still watching or not. Bulldog, you still here?
I hope not.
He nodded out already.
What is that? What is that pill called? That's the gummy melatonin.
Melatonin.
Yeah.
That's old people know what that is.
Yeah.
What is it, sweetie?
Hold on. I gotta shut my door because when I say this next part, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
My bitch of a wife decided to put that shit in one of my drinks and really fucked me up one night, making me go to bed real early.
Did you wake up early though? That's the question.
And you're still married?
No, I didn't. I didn't wake up early at all. I went to bed I slept for almost 16 hours. I was like,
everybody.
Melatonin. That wasn't melatonin. That was too small.
No, yeah.
There's only one way to piss off Joker. You can say whatever you want to his face. He'll just look at you and be like, "All right, whatever, buddy." Call him at 6 o'clock in the morning. See what happens.
What the are you doing, man? I'm sleeping here.
I called him. I think what time did I call? I called you around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm already on the road working, and this guy's like dead. He's like, "The fuck do you want?" I'm still fucking sleeping.
Yeah, well, for the record, everybody, I don't go to bed till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So your 8 o'clock is like everybody else's 4 a.m. Leave me the hell alone and let me sleep.
Technical Sheep 123. Reach out to me and or Tiny, Alex Pasco. We'll talk to you a little bit about the Cerakoting and the engraving.
So now that was all the indestructible gun. Yeah. So I got
one more question. They're saying How does it? Will it hold up in? I'm guessing he's thinking that you're gonna submerge the gun, but I'm gonna respond to this one. No, you not. You do not submerge the AEG underwater, buddy. If it rains a little bit, I mean, it'll survive, but don't
Yeah.
just
But try
sit
it
there
off
and wait.
too after you get done raining.
Yeah,
The electronics aren't exposed, as in any AEG. They're not exposed. But yes, I mean, you've got
You don't
openings
want to submerge them.
where, yeah, I mean, so like the motor is still inside a motor grip, and yes, that's covered by the gearbox. The gearbox itself is sealed, so the electronics in there are going to be fine. The battery is in the stock, so that's sealed also. So yes, you get some rain, you'll be okay. You go for a swim and try to pull some Navy SEAL shit. No, it's not going to be okay. That way.
well, you know what? I do have some. When I went to DVA, you know how DVA has like that creek going around.
Mhm.
I happened to accidentally.
Accidentally, my ass.
Okay, so it looks shallow, and I'm trying to get to the damn city. Again from the other life, I couldn't get into the damn city, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go in that. You know what? That looks shallow, and I literally, instead of me just going in, so I just went hopped, and I went whoop. Water went.
I wish I was there for that. Damn it, man.
If I would have got that on camera, I'd have been like,
So
how
my-
fucked up is fucked up?
Uh,
That's really fucked up.
luckily, I didn't have my Crytek that was upgraded by
Somebody else?
um
By somebody else.
by somebody else.
yeah.
But I had my classic army, and I literally submerged this thing for a good second, and it was working.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Second's good. That's not gonna. Yeah.
I mean, it was completely submerged, like barrel the whole 9 yards. I mean, I saw bubbles.
any AEG. If I had an AEG go in the water, I'd immediately unplug it, because you don't know, regardless of how sealed it is, you never know.
Well, I was in the middle of war, and I had 6mm plastic rounds coming at me, so I had to shoot back.
Yo, it's not gonna unplug. If it melts in my hands, I'm gonna go out shooting.
Could just take a handful of BBs and throw.
Dude, I did that once, and everybody's like, as a bunch of people go, hit. What the hell was that?
The reason, by the way, reel us back in. The reason for the name, the Indio Struckable, obviously DEO is in there. We call it. Came up with the idea for the Instructable. Online Instructables are something helps you build something else. The idea behind the Indio Instructables is that they're customizable from the jump. So you wanted yours all blue. We went with all blue. They can be any color and any length, any size. The rail that's on it, these were the original stock. This was everything we put together. Boom, blue on blue, and it's the full length rail. We'll come down to a PDW length. The stock is really the only thing that is contingent across the board. So
Sorry to interrupt, but that stock threw me off a little bit because I did not know how to open the damn stock to put a battery.
Yeah, I'm aware. So yeah, we have it here to help with that.
Wait, how do you open that thing? I never figured it
Real
out.
easy. So, right on top. See if you can see that there. There's a screw right there, right?
Oh, I gotta take the screw.
So that is how you slide the stock back and forth. This here sits down inside the slot on top of the buffer tube, right? So you just have to unscrew that. Really easy. Screw it down, unscrew it. Slides all the way off. Battery goes inside like that. I'm sure you were probably trying to take it apart back here and everything else.
I was getting like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was. You know what? Let me go get a crayon because of that.
No, I get it, but like I said, the idea is, we have different suppressors, different rails. The receivers are all going to be the EMG receivers, but the rails themselves are different. Color-wise, length-wise, style-wise, and the suppressors are going to be different as well.
Do you? I remember that you mentioned that you guys are going to be getting into or working, trying to figure out the whole pistol thing, the gas blowback, the GBB.
Yeah. So we're doing two things there.
Okay.
I didn't mean to
Well, I was gonna say, I got this piece of crap. It's a Hudson H9.
Yep, I know it. Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm gonna give this to you so you can do what you need to do.
Well, I have a trash can just for that if you'd like.
Aisle 13.
200. Check this out.
That wasn't nice.
Evic is selling this thing for $209, and I got it out of the box, not working.
I can't hear
Yeah.
a single thing you're saying. Thank God.
Yeah, I know. That's there were high hopes for those Hudsons.
I shot the real deal one, the real steel one. It worked fine with me. I never had no failures or anything, but the airsoft one is crap.
What we're doing? So we're doing one thing for the Players Wanted guys. We're doing, we're going to be putting together the whole HPA high capas for you guys. We have a real nice system we've designed. We're going with twin tanks, which are going to sit. You're not even going to know they're there. And it's going to keep positive pressure the whole way. Yeah, really, really put a lot of thought into this for you guys. And we've also decided that, like the Indestructibles, we're actually going to do we haven't come up with a name for it, so basically it's an Indestructible pistol. It's going to be a DEO pistol. So we're going to have a pistol line. And I'm working with our techs. Josh Bowman's lead on that. And we're going to be putting the pistol together. I really think, when we're done, it's not that we're trying to outfit all of Airsoft, but we're trying to put something out that is absolutely 100% worth every penny you spend, and it's something that we're going to stand behind. I mean, I mentioned the barrels before. When these do finally get released into production, when we're confident that in the build itself, because it is a full custom, you really got to be able to piece them together. When we're confident in the build and they do go out, we'll stand behind every single one of them without fail. Now, if you bring it back to me and I can tell it's been left out in the rain, possibly been to BB-8 and maybe in a pond, or if you come back and the trigger is snapped in half, and I know that trigger should not be broken, and whatever guerrilla reason you decided needed to squeeze it that hard, things like that, that's different. You bring it back like what Joker found. He said we had some misfeeds. Okay, that's not on you. That's on me.
But it's not me. It's the glove.
Bionic gloves should not be squeezing a trigger quite that way. We shouldn't have a feather trigger.
Come on, be honest. You guys know that at one point in your life you own some gloves that you like. I can't feel anything.
Yeah, no, not like no.
No,
I'm gonna call it bullshit. You're gonna break. Now, the funny thing is that he mentions a broken trigger, and that only comes from that's something very specific.
No,
so it must have happened.
I have seen guys break through their trigger trolleys. So a standard build has what's called a trolley system, where it's like this, and that goes in, so the trigger pushes it forward, and the trolley goes in. I've actually seen guys jam through that because I'm shooting you. I know I am. And they squeeze right on through it. It's ridiculous. Some of the things they do. The harder you squeeze, the faster the gun does not shoot.
Look, I've only actually broken one gun, and that was with my tactical barrel roll, and I snapped the gun in half at Homeland 2 because I was running and a guy popped up, started shooting. So I said shit because I was going to go medic some guys, and I got the guy out. But
I remember that was home. Yeah, I remember Homeland. Yep. I remember the ground shaking.
I think they felt that over in China.
What are you talking about?
There's that barrel patch.
There's that barrel. Yeah.
By the way, just see. I don't know if it'll
put it in front of it.
Yeah.
Close.
Damn it.
Yeah. You got like a white piece of something to. Yeah. There you go.
Nope. You're missing it there. Yep, there you go.
Nope,
back up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be here for 10 minutes trying to figure this one out.
Yeah.
As he does that. So the question that came up earlier, that we sort of blew through was, are you guys gonna start doing custom builds?
There it is, right there. Cover the light. There you go. No, you're going to.
Now move the barrel back over. Yep, to your left, just a hair.
I'm an idiot. I really am.
Okay, we're used to it. We're used to it.
Whatever you're doing, do the opposite. It literally works.
There, you got it.
Yeah,
You saw it.
We're
yeah.
looking at the rubber seal over the cutout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
play the video back. Yeah, so that just to give you an idea, you notice it's not that sheen, that glossy that glossy material that you'll find on most patched barrels. So that's just to give you an idea of what we're
That's a UFO from the what the hell is it?
You know, when I give
Roswell.
the answer, if nobody gets it and I give the answer, you guys are gonna hit yourself in the head.
It looks like a drum brake cover.
You told me what it was. I just forgot.
it's a speaker.
Negative, Ghost Rider. What I am gonna turn this into is a cigar tray. I'm gonna have to do some tinkering with it, but this is actually okay. I'm gonna give you some clues. So
Nope.
this, for those of you that are,
You just messed with his volume.
Yeah.
He just muted you.
That was good.
I have too much power.
it's a piece of equipment from the military that's supposed to.
That's the cover of a landmine.
I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know once we're done with the live. I'll let you tell you what it is.
I'm having too much fun with it. So going back to, are you doing are you going to be doing both? I guess the question earlier was, are you going to be doing custom builds as well, or you're focusing mostly on the Indio-Structural?
No. We'll do custom builds. We'll still do repairs. We've actually, from an infrastructure standpoint, we actually just changed. We're actually going to be opening the shop at Op 31 when we reopen. We'll have a shop. We'll have it on field. We'll do some minor repairs, or we'll be taking in. So we've added 3 techs to the team. So everything from minor repairs to full custom design builds. I just did, like I mentioned before, I took a G36. He wanted a DMR build out of it, so that's where we're at right now, and he's right at 2.05 joules, shooting a county over. I mean, it came out. It came out better than I expected. And it's we're doing all that, asking for everybody to be patient right now. Obviously, we can't. Parts coming in from the moment you order a part, it takes no less than 3 weeks for something to be delivered.
Yep.
There's nothing we can do about that. I wish there was. I try to carry as much as I can in stock, but we can't prepare for everything. And I'm not, I'm not Stampede. They're phenomenal. That's what they do. And if you're up by them, go to them all day long. If you're down by us, give us time or take a trip to Stampede. I love Shelly. They're fantastic. They're so far away that I'll probably never play at their field. But that's a shout out for them because they're wonderful.
Yeah, they're one of our the techs that we've gone to quite a bit. I think I have 8 guns upgraded by them so far, just my own. I actually have to go up there and make a trip up when I go to do the. I'm going to be going up against to the Lake County Commission on Tuesday to have a discussion about a certain field, and hopefully they won't be allowed to get open. But when I go up that way, I'm going to stop off and pick up some of my guns that are up there by them. But
no, they're really good. They're really good.
So pretty much, and the funny thing is, we're not going to go political with that, but there's a reason why the post office is taking so long, and it's very political. But
political.
But it really comes down to, like, when we first started talking, it was at Homeland 2. It was the first time I met you, Greg, and it was you were showing off some of your stuff, and then at Northern Watch, and they impressed me at that point. One of the things I have a question on, though, because when I was at your shop, I noticed you guys did not carry a high-powered airsoft BBs. Would you like to explain why?
Sure.
Or let me rephrase it this way. You weren't carrying high-powered airsoft BBs when I was there, and I found that they shoot some of the best BBs. They're some of the best BBs I shoot.
Sure.
So when I come to your shop, I want to be able to buy from you, as opposed to buying from someplace I don't want to buy from. So
support your local field people.
And look, so I appreciate it. There's a couple of different reasons. One, so we did work with them a while back, and we did work with them on a sponsorship a while back when we did the 6mm shootout. They helped support us in that they gave us the BBs for Chrono, and those were the only BBs that we used and the only BBs that we sold for the 6mm shootout. We had, a couple of things back and forth, some discrepancies, things like that. That's fine. Shooting the BB is phenomenal. Absolutely. Firing the BB through your gun is fantastic. Hands down, one of the better BBs on the market for sure. When I spoke to them, we talked a little bit about their biodegradability and some of the claims that they made. There was some independent research done about a year later or so, and based off of some of that, so some of the claims and some of the responses, I opted not to carry them anymore. Now, from a business standpoint, the other reason is Elite Force is one of we're a reseller for Elite Force already, and Elite Force makes a great middle to upper range BB, and I feel that EMG makes a phenomenal BB as well. EMG is all we use for tracers, and they make a great BB. Having that much variety in as small of a shop as we have, if I were to even throw one more company in there, something's not going to sell, or I'm going to sell out of all of one thing. And we already run into that sometimes now, and we don't have that huge a variety. We're too small of a shop to be able to do that. You like my diplomacy so far?
Your diplomacy is spot on. I mean,
No, it's fine, man. Like you got to do what's right for you. You know what you believe is. Yeah.
I'll never, if somebody, like I've had kids come and they've got again nothing against, like, say, Matrix BBs or something like that, or some or off brands, nothing against them, but they're not those aren't a higher quality BB. If somebody comes and is like, I'm shooting my gun and it's getting jammed, and they show me this generic bag that they bought off of Amazon that I know has been sitting in a factory for 18 months, stop right there, spend the extra $3 and buy the BBs, But if they come and they show me that they've got a bottle of HPA and their gun's jamming, I'm not going to blame the BB. Just not gonna, because I know they make a great BB.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is, going on the tracers, I found that the best and brightest BB so far, and I've used a lot of different brands, has been the HPA BBs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Me too.
So when it comes down to quality for tracer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to disagree with you, because I think HPA is better than any other brand out there, because I have run through that with CQB and everything else. I have to use it for indoor, because I need to be able to see where my BB's hit and all that. Outdoor, not so much. If we ever are able to have an actual night game with you, that'd be great.
Yeah. Which we didn't talk about how the field is completely lit up, but we can get into that too.
I have used the G&G tracers. I've used the A-Stick tracer, HPAs, and the EMG ones. I gotta say though that the 2.0s and the 2.5s from EMG by far are the brightest ones.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to the 2.8s, they're not that bright. And I think the only tracer unit that lights them up really, really good is the one that Joker has, which is the lighter BT.
Yep.
But Ace Tech, any tracer unit will light those up, no problem, all the way up to 2.8s.
The problem with the Ace Tech BBs, though, is they're not a high quality BB.
They're not, but when you're using if you're running it through a classic army or like a mid to lower end airsoft gun, no problem.
Yeah.
High end guns, problem.
Yeah, the BBs will sometimes explode right out of the barrel.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I stopped using the Ace Tech BBs, is because they designed the BB to be very bright.
And Papa is right about something. I ran through my upgraded Crytek, Matrix, some the cheaper G&G BBs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they have different, and I was getting jam or they were breaking inside. So the moment I took those off, and then I use Elite Force, I never had issues with Elite Force biodegradable ones, the more expensive side ones. And I run three twos, 3 O's and 3 2s.
Yeah.
But I like HPAs are great, but I've been getting, I don't know. For me, I think Elite Force is a bet. It works better for me. I don't know.
Having a small shop in a small field. One of the things I also have to keep in mind is my player base. HPA BBs, per BB, they cost more. So, comparatively speaking, whether it's Elite Force buyout or an HPA, the 2.8 to 2.8 or 0.28 to 0.28 would have HPAs are always going to be more expensive. Quality of BB, from mag to leaving the barrel, it's going to be negligible. It really is going to be negligible. Now, if you're an upper echelon player who travels and you're running that and you're doing, then yeah, maybe something like HPA who does have a higher quality rating, you might want to go with that.
Then they're probably sponsored, and they probably get those BBs for free anyway.
Right.
Or they run them.
So because anybody who's playing like that, generally you do get something along those lines. The EMGs I find a smaller bottle. It's a 2,000 round bottle, and I can sell them at a better price, and they work great. I also can get those at the heavyweight, so I get EMGs up to 0.46. Yeah, no, actually, I get the EMGs all the way up to the 0.5s, but the 4.8s and the 5s are they're silvers, so they're actually like a shiny, almost look like they're metal. But I haven't had any problems. We tried Vulcan for a while, and then we ran into a problem where there was a batch of Vulcan that had been sitting around forever, and they were swelling up in everybody's gun. So I had to stop carrying them.
Vulcan seems to have some quality issues from time to time.
Yeah.
Stuff seems to, not to trash on them or anything, but like their ripoff of the Odin, I have yet to have a Vulcan that the fucking screw did not come out of.
The Vulcans are all plastic too.
I have an actual Odin from when they came out, and I still haven't replaced the internals. Nothing broken, and I use that thing a lot. So
it's not a matter of that. It's the thing that pisses me off the most. It's like I keep sending it back to Amazon because inevitably that little S screw falls out. You lose the screw. Now it's fucking broken. It's worthless. It's like, all right, Amazon, give me another one, and they send it right back to them. It's like, well,
yeah, they even their branded goggles, the Zulus. The Zulus are nothing but Vulcan branded. They're OEM Pyramex.
Yeah,
and the Vulcan ones, I've actually had several of those come from Vulcan, and from them had bubbles in between the thermal lenses.
Two things I don't cheap on: iPro.
Mm-hmm.
What are you using for iPro?
And iPro. I use Smith Optics. I use Oakley, the 3.0s with the Hilo kit on it. I have several Hilo kits. All my iPro stuff is from the military. I got Wiley's.
Wiley X. Wiley X, I know them. I just picked up a bunch of ESS with the gaskets.
Yeah.
So I have ESS also. Actually, I got them right here.
Again, like I was talking about on the field, my player base, when we talk about iPro, we go from the Pyramex, which is what I get because the Pyramex, the Zulus. I do the Pyramex Zulus. So they're dual thermal pain, and since they're not branded Vulcan, they're Pyramex, which means they don't sit in a factory somewhere until they sell. They're being turned over. They're not sitting catching 160 degrees tucked away in a Arizona factory. I get them and they move, and the 20 I think I sell them, those are 25, and then my next level up are the Oakley M frames, because there's nothing in between those two prices that I feel better. I don't like selling any of those in between the price range because it's not worth it. The Pyramexes are best, hands down, bang for your buck.
Yeah.
At $20 to $25, you can't beat it.
Yeah, my
So real quick, this is the Vulcan goggles. They're goggles and all that, and if you noticed when I had it, it happened on the field. I had to hit was a little bit of super glue right there. You see that crack?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hold on to this one now only to show like the wear because these things I keep them like if I go to Miami Airsoft and I need because I only wear this at like CQB fields.
Nice.
So I mean they're $25 or whatever, but I hold on to it because I always have to watch those edges to make sure that that crack is not happening because nothing would suck more than you're sitting there like this and next thing you know your lens goes flying off. That's what happened with this one on the field at the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just guys, if you're not in a hurry, for example, like if you don't have a game coming up, what I want to tell everybody is keep an eye out on these bigger websites like Evic and Airsoft GI, especially Evic, because sometimes Evic, believe it or not, if you go to Epic Deals or the area where it says deals, just, at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., they'll throw it out there. And for example, my Smith optics come with a built-in fan. They're like $180 or 200 and something dollars regular price. I got them for $30. And the reason why they do it because they have one or two left in stock, so they just want to get rid of it.
Yep.
And that's how I got my Smith optics. I also got the same thing. Actually, I got like 3 pairs of the Oakley's M frames 3.0s, 2 from the military, 1 from the Army, 1 from the Marine Corps, and I bought my third one on Evic. Normally on U.S. standard issues like 50% off for us military guys and first responders, but for whatever reason Evic had it for $80, the whole entire kit
Really?
with
With
3 lenses, the kit, the actual case with the cleaner and the everything for $80.
Glasses and goggle kit. Is it just the glasses kit or the glasses and goggle?
The
So
glasses and got the whole thing.
Really? Oh, because the kit I have is the glasses, the
Right.
goggles, 3 lenses, and
Right.
that's normally a $300 kit.
For $80. So keep on the lookout for these like really good deals. Also, a lot of my boots. Instead of me before, I used to wear my GI boots, my Marine Corps boots, my Danners and stuff like that, my Bates. Hell, that's too heavy. That was when I was young. Now I'm a little older. I need something lighter. Every now and then, they have Oakley boots or Under Armour boots. I got Under Armour multicam ones for $30.
Yep.
$180 boots for $30.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out. You can definitely get some real good Gucci rated stuff for a really low price if you have some patience and you actually take the time to look for it.
I'm going to tell you, I know there's guys that run like Merrells. They
Solomon's, yeah.
Yeah.
Go to find a Rack Room Shoes in any mall.
Yeah.
Instant
Fine.
Free.
Yep.
go get yourself a pair of Adidas and pick up your Merrells for half off. Really, like those are the kind of deals. And we get at our field we average 2 new players every game day, which is wonderful. And if we lose one of those 2, that means we're growing by 1 every game day. Some of the rules, and you guys have heard me say this, the rules that we have are not to spend any money. Don't buy anything for at least 3 games. Come consecutively 3 times, so you know the commitment that's involved. Rent or borrow.
I mean,
right? All 3 of you played once and spent $2,000 because
I don't know what you're talking about. I did not spend $2,000, sir. $2,000. I did not spend that.
I only had to answer to myself.
Those are rookie numbers, sir. Rookie numbers.
Hey, Wiener, you are a lucky man.
So,
Well, I had the young girlfriend for a little while.
Wait, what?
All the parents don't let them. Don't. They're gonna come back here. They're gonna. I was watching YouTube and I went to Evic and I did. Stop. Don't do it. Just come and play. We've watched people spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars and never play again. So that's why we do it. When it comes time, we talk about like you mentioned.
I'm gonna put you on the screen.
iPro. We talk about iPro. That's where you spend your money first.
Yeah.
The gun is a byproduct. If you can't play and you can't see it, you don't know what you do, then the gun doesn't even matter. You're just gonna play all over the place and hit nothing. So start there. Start with iPro.
It's funny because like people. Sorry, I see the post all the time where people are saying, "I'm new to the sport. What type of gun do I get?" and all that. So one of the first things they say is like, "Well, what are you planning on playing?"
Right.
So first and foremost, I say, or like the newest things now, what do I need to get into airsoft? And I say right off the bat is XFOG.
A job.
Xfog, a job, a big bank account.
Yeah.
Disposable income, or as
Yeah.
Tinker would say, dispose of all income.
Yeah.
So the first thing I say is XFOG, a good set of iPro, and the iPro depends on where you play.
Yep.
If you're playing outdoor, you can go with the simple glasses kit. If you're
Mhm.
playing indoor, I recommend getting the full goggles so it protects more of your face. I recommend a face mask, and the one Tiger's face masks are cheap and
Yep.
they work great. Just don't dry them in a dryer.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Wait, do
Oh,
you wash yours?
Yeah,
I never wash mine.
I know. I could smell it from here.
Hey man, it's the way war is. If you smell too nice, they're gonna know you're
That's
there.
right. They're gonna know you're there. That's right.
No, I
Can't be wearing your perfume.
You
all
never
the
throw it
time.
in a dryer. Then the other question comes up is, are you going to be running a helmet or are you going to be running a hat?
Mhm.
Because that also depends on what XFOG you use. I run a helmet only because of the GoPro, to be honest with you. Oh, and the fact of I hate it when people bing me in the back, especially the back of the head with a BB.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Another example is like when I started here in America playing airsoft here in America, I've been using the same helmet for 5 years.
There we
5
go.
years. It was at Emerson. It was a $40
I still got my Emerson.
right $40 Emerson, and I still use it till this day. It's the multicam one you see me run, Joker, every single day. But I know how important it is to be comfortable in airsoft, especially in the hot weather, and then running the GoPro and the extra battery, becomes weight. So I have experience with Team Wendy, Ops Core, and stuff like that I use in the military. But guys, you do not need to spend $600, $900, $800 on a helmet. You can literally find a decent helmet
For $40.
for like between $40
That
and
one right there.
which one is that one, Rob?
That's a Rothko, believe it or not. I had to pick it up.
Okay.
So I actually
So-
paid $70 for that one, but it's got the cool
See,
padding
The
inside.
reason why I don't like that one is because there's no holes on the top of that for breathing, is there?
You're exactly right. There is not. But
Right.
I'll be in the indoor AC play this weekend is out for. So
But what's important to me is what the inside of the helmet, the padding is. So I decided to take a risk, and I spent just a little bit over $100 on this PTS MTech Flux.
Yep.
Why? Because I used the actual real steel, the real version of it, and I loved it. So I'm gonna see if this is actually a 1-to-1 like they say it is, especially with the padding. The most important thing is the padding. But we'll see.
$8 on this. $8, and it's padded on the front. And if I get shot in the back, that's my fault because obviously my team shot me in the back.
Yeah, but I wear the GoPro.
Or
and-
I was
If you've never seen me in a helmet, I just look silly. By the way, that's really the biggest reason why I don't wear a helmet.
if you wear a helmet, you look like the guy from Spaceballs.
I am. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm so
we ain't found
Joker,
helmet is so big.
we gotta find that helmet now for him. We gotta get it to him.
real quick. Sebastian says, "Hi, Weedy."
oh God, Sebastian,
Yeah.
that little kid.
So, that actually makes me think of
His
something.
girlfriend's hot, by the way.
In regards to the community, we opted about a year ago. We opted to support Echo 4. I know Rob. Obviously, I know you know who they are. Echo 4 is a team that for Doomsday really used to do a ton. They brought the vehicles out.
Used to. They still
well,
do.
Well, not the only reason I don't say it right now is because there's no event planned for the year from Doomsday. So
Sure is.
right now they're not going to be doing a big event. Sorry, am I dropping
Oh, wait.
news?
Chris, what?
I didn't mean to drop any news. Anyhow, we'll talk about that later. So they do so much. They do so much. They spend of their own money. They do of their own time. They really give a lot to the event. So, I talked with Tiny. We sat down. We talked about it. So we decided that to sponsor them because we felt that they deserved it. And they are all now running their own. So you asked about custom guns. At the next event they go to, they're going up to Iron Fury. But the next time you see any of them, you'll see every one of them has built and designed exactly for each one of them, the way they asked for it. Sebastian has one. He wanted his is actually almost exactly like the original DEO3, but they run the gamut. I got a UAR went to Alex Fallon, and the Falco brothers got guns that match their personalities, but they're very similar. So, and I think that we as a whole, as community leaders within airsoft, that's the things that we should be promoting. We try to promote that on the field. Whether it's a hand-me-down, you know how many guns I've watched been given away on my field, not by us. We give them away at raffle, but guys just show up and a little kid's playing. He's like, you know what, man? Here, take this. And at the end of the day, he goes to give it back. He goes, no, go ahead and keep it. You know, that's if you've been playing for 6 or 7 or 5 years, whatever, or if you've spent, $9,000 on equipment and only been playing for 8, whatever. Like that's who we should be. We should be cultivating these young kids, teaching them right, teaching them about behaviors and things like that on the field, what a proper behavior is, things like that. And expectation. I got to jump in. I'm getting on my very tall soapbox. Otherwise, you wouldn't see me. When you play it, like say, for example, like Miami Airsoft, right? There's an expectation. You're playing in Miami Airsoft that has a reputation to begin with, and that's fine. It's also speed QB. You're also indoors going through 1 trillion rounds a game, right? The expectation is that there's going to be BBs flying everywhere at a high rate of speed. It's just going to happen. So go in, like you said, you wear full cover glasses. You're wearing your helmet. You're wearing it because you're going to get doused, right? If you get hit, you're getting doused. That's the expectation. You go and play.
It's not that bad anymore. I mean, the one guy will shoot you 3 or 4 times on if they're speedy boys, Right.
So if you go somewhere where there is that kind of gameplay, though, that's the expectation. You go to a larger field where it's more milsim-ish or milsim even. The expectation is not that you're going to get full autoed at 8 feet.
Wait a minute.
Oh, now with the new SMGs,
it shouldn't be that. The expectation should not be that. So you see the different attitudes, but you should actually step on the field with that mentality. We try to teach that. Now, at the same time, we also do try to teach why are you full autoing almost anyway, unless you're using a gun that's designed for it and you're at the proper range. 1, 2, 3 rounds, learn your gun. Learn how to shoot your gun. We try to raise all the young players that come in. We try to raise them that way. So by the time they are a veteran in the sport, they're able to pass that down. And now we've grown an entire community to play the sport better. The sport's been around for so long that it really shouldn't be considered a cheating sport. Yet it's not on ESPN anywhere. There is no national event that occurs effectively. Unlike paintball's all over the place. There's guys playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars for paintball. I'd love to see that for airsoft. We tried to do that for airsoft, but it's an integrity sport. If you don't teach integrity, the sport will never grow. And that's something that we try to do at our field. We try to promote, we try to push, and hopefully that next generation does the same thing and they pass it down enough that eventually it's not even a question.
It's definitely gonna be a logistic.
The big factor is when, like, right now airsoft is a $12 billion a year industry, so it's a massive industry. The problem that comes up is it's a scary industry. So the big problem that comes up for our industry is because we look like we're a bunch of militiamen and everything else. It's why it hasn't been picked up.
But that's what you need in order to camouflage. It's called a milsim event, military simulation. So the people need to just stop looking at it as bad, because it's not. But going back to the whole national gaming or like playing for pro, like in the pro level, I can see speed QB because it's indoor. It's less logistics. But milsim events though, that's probably going to be a logistical nightmare. You're really going to need a lot of staff, a lot of refs, just to, hey, you've been hit. It's like paintball. When you see a paintball tournament, the ref is like, hey, you're hit, get out.
Well, we're actually getting ready to have we're gonna try a second gen 6mm shootout. We're customizing it a little bit different. The last one we did was set up pretty well. People just weren't ready for it. It just wasn't. There weren't most guys.
You know,
Most guys weren't ready to come and challenge themselves.
we can play my way sim rounds.
No.
So but I think if we continue to grow,
You'll know you hit. Trust me on that.
But my point about it was that with the industry, it's like what happen is you need somebody with some big investment money that is not scared of the industry and not scared of the look of the industry or what people are walking around as, to invest probably $8 to $9 million to get a bigger tournament style that goes up, because it's all over in Europe. I mean, you have the 5-man squads that are doing the Milsim tactical stuff tournament wise that does really well. It's just that it's funny because we're America and we don't have somebody that's
we also have less restrictions though. See, over in Europe, they have a lot more restrictions on their guns. There's a lot more going on over there than we do over here, and they talk about things different over. You know, you said, you know, bringing someone in who's not scared and who has money, but it does fall on us individually. Just, you know, same as, you know, those of you who have children, you raise your kids. You don't ask the teacher to come in and raise your kid. You start them at home. As community leaders for this, it's on us to get, at least prepare their heads for that level. You know, look, here, when you're here, you're playing here, this is how you play. And if you go play somewhere else and you're wearing one of our patches, we actually expect you to behave a certain way, because you're going to be associated, you're going to be affiliated with our name, with even if you're not a team member, that's fine. But if you've got an op patch or a DEO patch, or, you know, any one of our patches, and they're like, oh, where you play it there normally, and then you play like a jerk, people are going to want to come and play.
Yep, that's very true. That's why the only patch I wear is that one, the wiener one. I can be a dick all day long.
That's right. That's why I created it.
One of the greatest things, I'm so proud, and I'll pat myself and my guys on the back for this one, is, you know, 3 years ago, there was it was an absolute impossibility to say DEO or say Op 31 and Doomsday in the same sentence unless you were saying they hate each other. They were just it was absolutely, come on, you know better than that. Really?
Who, me?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Op 31 and Doomsday. When Doomsday was running Route 7 and Op 31, this was 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Right.
It was this. All day long. It was this.
I wasn't privy to any of that.
Yeah, there were guys.
I was out.
There, if you played at Route 7 and you came up to Op 31 and you told someone you played at Route 7, you got mean mugged, right? Oh. Don't come around here. Same thing, and it was like that for a while. And then when Tiny and I got together and we started talking, it's ridiculous. We're all one community. There's no reason to have something like that. You should feel comfortable anywhere you go. And about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, when was it that Chow left? Was it 2 years ago, right? When
we went to the military, yeah. When he left, he left and went to the military.
Yep. And we threw an event for him. It was called Say Chow to Chow. And we had it at Op 31.
I knew that.
All of Doomsday came so we could say goodbye. It was a send-off. And
I think I was there for that.
Yeah.
I think it was my first time I came to Op 31. So that's why I had no clue what was going on.
We had Doomsday at Op 31 field playing. I mean, that was a complete, that was a pinnacle moment. It really was. And it made, Tiny and I looked at each other. We hugged. I think we went in the back room for a little while, whatever. We had a good time. And, you know, it was an amazing, an amazing moment. And we've only grown from there, you know, to be as close to be able to touch so many kids. Shit, said that wrong. To be able to.
All right, Mike.
What the fuck is that? Wooby? Are you in your safe space now?
I mean, hey, he said touch kid. I'm putting my face on right now.
All the phrasing, brother. All the phrasing.
All right. To be able to be in a position to influence and to be a part of a larger environment, you know, working with Fox and Echo 4 and the guys up at DV8 and Black Tiger, working with Doomsday and those guys, even up to, you know, even though I've never been to their field, they haven't been to ours, but you know, Troy and Shelley up at Stampede, you know, and Holy Cows up that way. now getting the guys coming, from Miami wanting to come up and check us out and hang out and really do something at the field, seeing it grow like that is humbling. But it's a little scary. There's a lot of pressure because I want to make sure that what we're doing it the right way. Because as this thing grows and spreads, that next generation comes. Are we building it right?
Well,
Are we just getting a whole new pack of assholes that are just going to shoot people?
you're
just
doing a
make
good job. Tryhards contacted me. They were like, "Hey, are you gonna go to Op 31?" And when was the next game? August.
It was like August 23rd, right?
It was an event.
Their game was supposed to be an event on August 23rd. We had to cancel it because we closed, but we are rescheduling.
Yeah, they
Tryhards are awesome.
Yeah, they contacted me. It's like, "Hey, are you gonna go to this?" I'm like, "Absolutely." They're only 30 minutes away. That's my home field now. Forget driving to Miami.
Yeah, them. So, and I'll tell you, the events that we had scheduled, we're doing. We have a Walking Dead game that's going to be put on by SBG. He pieced it together. He's gonna run it at the field. We're gonna host it for him. But it's a Walking Dead game. We're also doing the Boogaloo Out, which is a family event. For real. Uniform for the day is like Hawaiian shirts.
Oh,
We're getting a 100-pound pig, and we're gonna roast it, and we're gonna do that. We've got that going. We are.
Oops, we lose.
We also have a
Jordy went to go get a Hawaiian shirt, so I threw him off the screen.
we also have we're doing an old timers game. There we go. Yeah, so you left when I said it, but for the Boogaloo
Old timers game, huh? Old timers game, huh?
Yep. Yeah. So the old timers game we're doing very nice. We're doing 35 and older is what we're considering the old timers, right? And
Back in my day.
wait. What?
Yeah.
Who's old? What?
Well,
35 and older. I'll have to bring my
35.
FOG patches.
I'm 40. I'm young.
You're how old?
I'm 35.
Yeah, I would have given you at least
Yeah,
52.
you're fucking old.
Yeah, 35 plus what now?
I'm not that
35 plus
old.
what? Did you get one of my FOG patches? You don't have an FOG patch?
I think I'm second oldest on the screen. Wiener, I think you got me right.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I know
okay.
that shit. Usually
I'm 47.
56. I'll be 56
Yeah.
this month.
So, but
And I'm 43.
We're doing the old timers
How old?
game.
23?
43. I act like I'm 23.
Where the
And then
fuck is
we got the North versus South game, which I thought the North versus South game was going to be a phenomenal game because you're taking all these guys that normally play down south from Naples on down, and then from Bonita up to Orlando area, and it's those teams against each other. And I thought that would be an awesome event. Unfortunately, we had to back everything off by a month. And
that's better. Honestly, that's better because, look, I love your field and all, but it's hot as fucking balls there.
But that's not the field's fault.
You're right. You're right.
Hey, look at
You're
Yordi. It
100%.
looks like he lost about 20 pounds already.
You're damn right I did.
So I got to come down and
you're-
play. It'll
Yeah,
just
You're
go to 20.
absolutely right that it's not the field's fault. However, it definitely impacts gameplay when that temperature starts to rise.
Hey, I don't care because
wuss.
that gives
You
me
wuss.
the
wuss.
upper hand on everybody that's not used to it.
No, what happens is it turns into hostilities, is what turns around. People get hot, they get agitated, they get pissed off when the littlest things happen.
Yep.
Like,
Not in the face.
Well, Tiny pointed it out. Actually, Tiny pointed it out. The last game we had, people like that fast. People were they were getting antsy during safety brief, getting antsy during game brief, get angry as soon as they got shot. Like all of these things were happening that don't normally happen. It was because at 7:30 in the morning it was already 95 degrees.
Right. But the whole safety brief thing that's not even on the field or the staff. That's on the players for not getting there on time. Because there's like 30, 40 people there, still like 20 people in their cars, and we're screaming, "Get on the field! Get on the field!"
I actually have decided some of the changes we're making in regards to that. I'm building signs now, large signs that have a listing of weapons class with MEDs built on it. So basically, you can just point to it, They're going to be over at the chrono station. So it's going to be that much easier, that much faster. So, and having signs like that with each section of the rules, so I don't have to spend 40 minutes in a safety brief going over. I mean, I do it one to kind of set the mood, let everybody feel comfortable and happy and laugh. So I make all the jokes I do during a safety brief. But at the same time, to get through every single rule, I know we lose people. I know we do, but there's a lot to cover. Otherwise, people are going to get out there. I've been to fields, I've been to events, I've been to games where they don't go over that kind of stuff, and kids go ham. You know, they go wild. And
So
it was so hot though that I had to wear my X-Fog. I had to use my X-Fog and my goggle fans so I don't fog up.
Yeah. So I just want to point out that, you know, when it comes down to it, there's, for me, when I go to review a field and when I say it's a great field to play at, it's not just a matter about what obstacles and stuff are out there. It's, or, you know, whether or not you have porta potties or real bathrooms, which, by the way, having porta potties is it's a big negative mark.
I don't care. I love porta johns.
Especially when the assholes that go to take a piss inside where you're supposed to sit down and take a shit and then leave the seat up. So when you walk inside, you get fucking hot box instead of shutting the shit down so it goes up. Anyways, that's what that fucking tube goes up for. It's to vent the smell out. So pretty much what I was always impressed with, it's like you mentioned that before about when you were there when Tiny had to correct some behavior. When people, it was like, I think the second game of the day when we had the ear incident.
Yeah, the ear. Man, that's
the second game of that was the second game of the day for I guess it was like our second time there. So we are pissing off your regulars because, you know, we don't take bullshit. You know, I don't give a shit if if it's their first day on the field or if it's the 100th day on the field. Right. For me, it's you follow the fucking rules, period. And, you know, what I will say and what's impressive is the way that you guys, especially the way you, Papa, handle disputes and shit on the field. So when you mentioned MED, I just want to show something real quick.
You mean medics? Med?
No,
I know.
So this happened to me on the 25th.
Are we calling someone out here, though? We're not.
I'm not calling anybody out. Nobody's getting called out.
Yo, man, come on.
Hold on.
Fucking A, man.
Oh, we're calling out yo.
There's one friendly over there as well.
So when it comes down to it, one of the biggest things, and this is really not a bad thing.
Fuck. Hey, yo, man, come on. Fucking A, man.
You got a sailor's mouth on you, boy.
Right?
Oh, dude, when you take 20 rounds to the chest and neck and you're only wearing this shirt and nothing underneath it, you have a tendency to get a little hot and heated.
Yeah, but isn't that your fault?
No, I will definitely say the fault is that guy, which is about 10 to 15 feet away from me, that decided to go full auto on a person wearing a fucking t-shirt.
I'd do the same thing.
But look. Here's
hold on. The point about it is that once it's been addressed with the field,
Right.
Greg is putting rules in place that actually make sure that stuff doesn't happen in the future. I wish other fields would do the same thing because the response that Greg had was, we're putting MEDs back in, which is perfect because especially there. I mean, now I wasn't really pissed. I was mad that I got shot at that close range with that many BBs at that exact moment. But I realized later on, the guy's playing the game. He doesn't realize there was no rule in place because I turned to John later on and said, "What's the MED for full auto?" And he said, "There is none." I said, "Are you changing that now?" The answer, Greg.
Yeah. We see that part of it is, you know, when we went down to rifleman class, we have a 10-foot. It's a 10-foot bang rule for rifle class, and they're allowed to go full auto. And what we ask is that, you know, use your best judgment. Well, we have to change that because a year ago, use your best judgment was being said to people that have been playing there for a year now and had good judgment. And then we put the use your best judgment in play. Now they don't have good judgment, or there's new people that have no judgment at all. They're not used to it. So we have to put it back into place.
Right.
People relearn it.
That's what I was gonna say. It depends on like when I play, knowing when the toys, yeah, you can full auto here. But if I know I can full auto, but if I see that it's a 12-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid, I don't
Right.
full auto them. I put it down as semi, and I'll do pop shots at them. If it's a grown ass person and they're 10 feet, 20 feet, and I got a clear line of sight of them, sight picture sight alignment towards them, I'm not full autoing them.
Right.
I'm 1 or 2 shots, But if they're 30 feet, 40 feet away, and they're behind vegetation, I'm gonna full. So yeah, you got to use good judgment. That's the way I play. I don't just full auto everybody like a lot of these kids. I'm just gonna full auto everybody.
Joker and I have played against each other before. When we were at Homeland, we played against each other, and he's seen me fight. I can't tell you the last time I used full auto. I really don't know. I think it was when I went out with a micro gun one time. I don't use it, but I know that I always, every time, 2 to 3 rounds every time I squeeze the trigger, right? Every time. Why? Because you might get some variation, but I'm also not trying to spray the entire field down. If I'm out there with an LMG, that's the role of the LMG. That's who's supposed to be doing that. But that's my opinion. That's not a rule in airsoft. Unless you're playing milsim, then you follow your milsim rules. Our field is not. We're milsim-ish. We're there to train skirmishers to be milsim. So it's like that whole blend. We're raising a new batch to send them off to Doomsday to learn how to play and milsim. To go to Milsim West, to go to Siege, to go to and make their way on out. I think if we do that right and we raise them right on a particular field and teach them well, we can send them out into the wild and they'll do a good job. So that again, this is just all my belief from being in the Army and being a father and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Instill the proper values and you do all that and you'll get the return on investment. You really will. And I think that's what happened. I downplay our field because I say it's small and we do the best we can with it. But I mean, I've heard enough now that we actually have an excellent props and excellent field work and all that.
You definitely got some excellent props now.
I take zero credit for that, except for I really do.
You know what you should also put on that rule thing is make sure. I think I remember Tiny saying it. You can't shoot people through the cracks on the buildings.
Yeah.
Some people forgot.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was a forgot. What happened was, and if you're looking for a rule feedback, I would say flat out, don't shoot through cracks. Period. Because the problem is that that's when the ear incident happened, and as they put it at that point in time, it's like they don't count towards hits, but they're there just to irritate. Well, the irritation definitely went up. Irritation.
Well, so here's the thing. So it's hard. It's hard to put that. I caught it. I was going to let it slide. Bad dad joke. It's hard to put the rule like don't shoot through cracks, for example, because what determines a crack? Is it a broken picket? Is it 2 broken pickets? How wide until you say yes? That's big enough to shoot
through it,
right? Well, see, we've had that, and that's where I get to make a joke during safety brief because there's a little guy that comes to the field, I grab him and go, see this noggin, that big or bigger, you can shoot through, but not everybody can gauge that. So I'm like, all right, well, a fist, but some people have a smaller or larger fist. It's hard to tell, and definitely if I'm like 8 to 10 inches, people can't even look. People can't tell 10 feet.
That's obvious. That shit hurt.
It really gets it. You do run into it, and I try to enforce it. So that's why I use during this. That's why my safety brief takes as long as it does sometimes because I try to. It helps drill it into the mind.
What's funny is that I've yet to attend a safety brief because I get there too late.
I know
but I have a drive.
Absolutely terrible. We have 2 points where while I'm giving the safety brief, I will stand, and there's a tree that has a skull on it. And then there's the trees over by where the garbage cans are. And when I put a marker when I stand right there, each side is 100 feet away. And when I first started asking, who knows how far that is? And some, they'll say, nope, that's 100 feet. Well, the skull is on a thin tree and it's a thin skull. So when I point to the other section, it's a large bush tree. And they're like, oh, that's 60 feet or what? I'm like, no, that's 100 also. Because visually they look different, but it's exactly the same distance. Getting people accustomed to the distances will help that stop. So nobody, Nobody's getting hit with a 550 foot per second sniper rifle at 60 feet. Don't want that. Not trying to drill through somebody's chest with a 6mm BB.
So one of the fun things that comes up from time to time, and I say that lightly, is that, sometimes people don't call their hits because they don't realize they've actually been hit, especially if there's a rule like gun hits or whatever.
Yes.
Your safety brief is probably about as long and in depth as Stag's safety brief, because he does that. Every person that comes in, they get a safety brief regardless of what time. So, but you're waiting between games, you have 15, 20 minutes, you're going to do a safety brief.
Mhm.
So luckily it's like are there
Yep,
any
sure.
strange rules that come into play that are not normal for every other field or event?
Mhm.
And that's why I ask, what are MEDs? Because that's usually varied by field. Do you have any restrictions? What's your FPS limits? Stuff like that. Every other rule I follow regardless. So being there for it's not important. But the fun thing happens is sometimes when you actually get into the mix of it and calling people's hits. I would say that, when this happened, you did not call my hit. And unfortunately,
You're doing this.
That's Homeland.
I never got to see this.
It's the path at Homeland.
Yep. This
Yep.
was you and me fighting.
now you're not here yet.
Oh,
This is me taking everybody out. You are coming up in a second, though.
yeah. This
Yeah, there it was.
that was.
I thought
Did that help your shooting?
no. So originally,
You came through.
yeah.
Oh, damn.
So when he shot, I
see that
thought
now.
it bounced off. Here, let me back. All right, it's right here. All right. Oh, crap. Nope, went too far. Here comes Papa now. That shot right there, I thought bounced off the gun. In fact, it hit me, and that was my bad.
Oh, I saw the BB again.
Yeah,
Cheater.
that's what
Cheater.
and I was pointing at it. So I thought it bounced off the gun, didn't realize it actually hit me. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to go up because Papa called this hit, as you should when you get hit.
Yep.
In my defense, I did not realize it hit me, but we had a good, he's
War
not
crime.
mad about it.
War crime.
Oh yeah, where the fuck's my kill card? You're like, I don't have it.
That's where I was looking for it. I actually couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's one. But
I'm out of here somewhere.
the fact is that oops, there we go. You didn't. I mean, you probably thought that you had gotten me, which would have been legitimate because you did. I thought it bounced off the gun, and I didn't take the hit because I still fired because gun hits don't count at Homeland or Doomsday events.
Mhm.
So it was one of those things. You did the right thing. Now, there's other instances where people get a little bit heated when you're like, because I always say, if I think a shot goes in, I'll sometimes say it, and I try not to be loud and yelling about it, but I was like, come on, man. And next thing you know, there's an argument that goes on. So we need to reinforce more of this is a game.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's egregious, like the person is intentionally not calling hits multiple times, like I can go back just a little bit further.
You know what I will say? I will say this while you're looking for that. I will say this. The only thing you're lacking, because you took to the sport like a duck to water, but I'm sure Wiener will agree with this, and when Battery comes back, he'll agree too. Let him put his head. So what I was getting ready to say, Battery, you're back. I was getting ready to say the one thing, Joker really took to the sport. He dove right in, and I think the one thing that he doesn't have that comes with time is a little bit of patience. Honestly, in the sport, that's what happens. Like when you first start playing, every round you fire, first of all, every round you fire, you think hits. I mean, that's just every round you think hits. But then when you think you should be hitting someone, it instinctively comes out, come on, dude, or even under your, like, I know I hit that dude. After a couple of years of playing, you're like, you're like, this guy, whatever. You stop caring because it doesn't do any good. It's not going to do, and all it's going to do is potentially cause more conflict and all that kind of just shoot. And that's why in the safety brief, I say the very first thing, if you're shooting somebody and not calling their hit, what do? Keep shooting them, right? If you keep shooting them and still not calling hit, what do? Get a buddy who shoots better than you, right?
Or full auto.
Right. That's Right.
No.
If you can, no, seriously, if you,
if you fall,
you got somebody with the LMG or whatever it is, get someone who shoots more or faster or further or better or whatever.
Thank you, Dave.
Right. And if they still aren't calling your hit, call an admin. Don't call them out. It's not your job to call their hit. Let them call their own. Let them worry about their own integrity. Get an admin over there. Admin comes over, watches. If he's clean, he'll yell clean. If he's not clean, he's not calling his hit. He gets shot with an admin gun. I promise he'll call his hit every time after that.
So
this doesn't want that to happen.
This was the incident that we had with somebody from team. No, I won't call it the team. I won't call it the person, but
I will.
No, don't. No, we won't do that.
You're gonna be YouTube famous, bitch.
So on this particular individual, you really can't see the BBs. Oh, there we go. You can't see the BBs fly too well. But I had to zoom in and everything else. I hit this individual multiple times. Like right there, that was a face shot.
Oh, yes. I was actually I was flanking left, and I was also hitting him at a 45-degree angle on his left side. And he wasn't
So at this game, I was a combat controller. And this was the point. It's like I wasn't going to call him on all these shots I know I was hitting him on. I wasn't going to call him out on. Like he's hanging out that side there, and I'm shooting either his ghillie suit or whatever. But right about here, Yordi flanks over, and you're going to see it like right there. I know I shot him twice because I saw the BB bounce off his hand.
Hold on a second.
Hold on a second. We got you.
That guy did get hit though by me. Also, that's why he jumped.
Because I'm watching my BB sit off your arm. No, it wasn't, man. I'm right here, and I got it on camera almost. Okay.
So I did not decide to argue anymore. I said I'm just going to go back to my position, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, he said, I'm gonna reset. That's what you said.
I'm going to reset. Yep.
I'm reset.
That's how close. That's how close I was. I was like 40. Like I could hear him, but I was flanking left, and I was shooting that guy in the ghillie. He also had another guy with him, a little bit further out.
Yeah, we took him out too.
Yeah.
And then I love it when they try to switch positions. It's great.
See, you see him right there. See how he peeped?
He's down. He's down.
Yeah, he got shot on both sides.
That's by the way, guy. Everybody back there, that's all tryhards, and we were telling him move up. We were telling them move up. There's people in front of us, and I'm like, no, we're the ones in front of you.
Oh, can we lose my phone here?
Oh yeah, where's it at? See if I get. They're all telling me to duck down and crawl, and look at them. They're all hiding back there. I was like, "This is airsoft, guys. Push."
Is going to be moving forward up the road north to go harass their CP.
That was our job. Just do harassment.
I said QRF is going to move up and take out their CP.
Am I seeing BBs flying at you, or you shooting BBs?
No, that's
rain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, this was just before the tsunami started.
Right.
Oh yeah.
At this point right here, Joker was trying to get them to push up, and I was already out there. Like I was at their CP.
Head off to the left and right up here, and just start pushing along the fence line. We should be able to take them out. They're all over at Seekertown.
And that's try hard behind you coming in.
No,
that's my team. That's Tinker and Snake.
Okay,
So
I couldn't tell because it's so far.
Yeah, the tryhards are all inside of Checkpoint Charlie. So
they don't want to leave.
I decided to take front point just in case, and they only had one guy here. So we had that whole incident with.
It's only one guy up here.
One-handed shots.
I bet you this time next year you don't even bother with it anymore. I honestly would say I bet you this time next, because one of the things that you find is that trying to teach that lesson in that way doesn't work.
No, the interesting thing that came out of it was that, so the thing is, like, in that particular instance, it's one and done. I took him out. He called his hit finally. He left. I'm done. I moved on. I was totally willing to ignore it. Didn't go anywhere. Unfortunately, that individual decided to go to a forum and say to the individual that may concern, I would like to see the video. Oh, you want to see the video now, huh? And then did a breakdown. And then once you saw the breakdown, because I zoomed in, I was able to do all the fun stuff with it so you could actually see the hits and all that. He turned around and tried to use some other justification. So once you're outed and then you continue to fight something, like, look, that instance with you and I fucked up. I didn't call my hit. That's my bad.
You called yourself out.
I moved on. It's like, there was no need to argument. And that was and I apologize to you for it.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it. I didn't. Look, there's so many reasons that a hit doesn't get called that, to me, the very least of them is failure to call. Like that. Like usually it's like I've seen people, like, you get hit in the shirt, or you're moving and it strikes you, but while you're in motion, you didn't feel it, or so many different reasons for it.
Because if somebody has a drop on me, for example, like if I'm crawling and I stand up and I turn and the guy's already he's already pointing at me, I just say hit. I'm out. I don't even wait for him to shoot me. I'm like, you got me, bro. You got me good, and I'll walk away.
Yeah, I took a bang at like 40 feet one time because I heard hey. And I turned around like this and I looked. And I knew there was no way he didn't have me. I went, yep. And I just stood up and walked away. It was
I actually did it with one of your refs that he was playing. And he was like, "You're really gonna call?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you got me. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be fast enough."
Yeah.
Well,
because it's an integrity game.
You're surprised, yeah.
Without the integrity, there is no sport. That's it. You have to have that, even if it means having it to that kind of an extreme. To it again, going back to myself.
Here's the part.
The kids.
Here's the part that I don't understand. Like, it's airsoft. Like, you're gonna get hit. It's gonna sting a little bit. Go respawn and come back. Like, don't get that ego. Leave the you're gonna play. Like, relax, my guy. Like, you're not a one man team. You're not a one man army. It's a collective.
Joker, if you show up on time next game, you'll actually get to play an icebreaker game.
Dude,
icebreaker games are.
Well, the problem that comes up is that I have an hour and a half drive, and as we already established, my ass is not like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was just gonna say, you're not that.
Yes, you're whining. You talked to me the whole freaking way there last time.
Yeah, but that was that.
Confused, dude. Because I drive to Miami every time. It's like, hey, you're gonna come play Wednesday. Hey, you're gonna
leave.
Yeah, but when you hold on, but when you go to come play Wednesday, though, you're coming at 3 o'clock in the after fucking noon or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what, 9 o'clock in the morning. I got to be there. 8 o'clock in the morning. Some stupid shit like that. That's
well, think about its work. Look, I wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
We don't show up to Stampede's field on time.
I finish my job at 2:30 so I can make sure I make it to Miami Airsoft at 3 and play all day. Then I get home at 10, 11 p.m. to be with my family. So no fucking.
I'll stay late. I'll be sometimes one of the last guys to leave the field, except for last game day. I did have a commitment to go up to battalion and went up there. But that's why it's like,
I'm not saying all I'm hearing is excuses here.
Yeah. Look, I have a business to run that I can only run at night because of where I have to deal with. So
if you come, in all seriousness, if you do happen to make it, before the very first game, our first game is called an icebreaker game.
What time is that? Because I can definitely make it.
So icebreaker games start is the first game right after. So we do check-in starts at 8:30.
Okay.
The registration starts at 8:30. If safety brief is right around 9 o'clock, and first game starts no later than 9:30. Right, that's where we're at this point. And first game is icebreaker. It's a single elimination, 10-minute game, plays in CQB only, semi-auto only. And it's dubbed the shoot and get shot game. It's not tactical. I stand on the sideline. If I see you playing tactically, if I see you hiding, I shoot you myself. That's it. I start shooting over people's heads and around them to get them to move. And if they're not moving, I shoot them. Because we go 2 weeks without playing and you forget what it feels like to play, or you don't want to move, or you get scared. Get it going. Get it going.
Yeah. And I also don't understand the individuals that wear all the damn gear, like so much protective gear and stuff like that. It's like I literally go out there with a shirt like this and a battle belt or a regular Ronin belt with 4 mags, and that's it. Like that's how I've been playing at Op 31 because I like the games to be fast. I like to move in and out, in and out. But I've seen guys with plate carriers, like shoulder pad. I'm like,
That's me. No shoulder pads, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean,
old. I gotta move slow. I gotta carry everything with me.
I'll make sure I'll bring one of those little things of baby food for you.
Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, I don't like chew my food anymore.
Fruit medley?
the only thing that I recommend when I see my kids come out, especially during the summers, I tell them no hoodies. A lot of the new players that come out, they almost always come out in a hoodie. I'm like, you need to take that off. As you're gonna die, not from a BB. Like you are going to die. It doesn't hurt that bad. And then parents ask me, what should I get for them? Go to Walmart, $12 for a pair of gray or black or green cargo pants, and $12 for a black fishing shirt or a green fishing shirt. So it's like that wick away, long sleeve. That's it. Don't put 3 shirts underneath it. None of that. Just wear that. Come out and play.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't sting. It like the sting is like just for a second. Like
No bullshit. Take a full auto to the chest. That shit.
Yeah,
hurts.
and my skin is thin anyways. It breaks.
bro, you gotta be in the sun a little bit more. You need some vitamin D.
Well, the big thing is it's like when it goes back to that protection, right? So I mean, if you really need to, they sell those padded chest protectors that you can wear underneath that actually are not that hot even in this temperature. As long as you put something light colored over it. You throw one of these shirts on top of it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because
no, they can also wear those like football undershirts with a
it
pad.
actually blends in well out there. Thank you very much. Because especially at their field, because they have a lot of tans and stuff out there.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes up, and I'm not picking on your field. This is great to have on your field because I want to show stuff from your field.
Yeah.
So, this one is share screen.
Where's my goddamn arepa? I want my arepa already.
All right. So one of the things that people also have to be wary of, like when they're playing and all that, is what's going to happen.
Screen.
Yeah, what's going to be right here.
He's hiding behind you.
Using dead people for cover. That was Zane hiding behind the other guy and using him for cover. Not calling out Zane in a bad way.
The guy's bitching because he's getting hit.
Look,
yeah, he finally moves out of the way so I can shoot the guy.
Out, but we do tell people if you're in the line of fire, you can move 10 feet one way or another. If we're playing a medic game, yeah,
that was a medic game.
All right. If you're hiding behind somebody and that person doesn't move out of the way, then shame on them for getting shot. Look, I'm not a huge fan of meat shields, but if it's keeping me alive, it's keeping me alive.
I'm trying to find the one.
And I'm little. I can hide behind anybody.
Shit, you can hide behind a stick and say, "I'm gonna get hit."
I've pushed up hiding behind Tiny before.
Oh well, yeah, that's easy because you're like the size of one of his legs.
You know what? I am guilty of that. I think we did a live stream where I mentioned it's like if you're bigger than me, and I'm using you as cover. I'm not calling you fat. I'm just saying I'm using my advantage.
At Miami Airsoft, sometimes people use me as cover on walking back because I don't run back to spawn because spawn's only I'm 30 seconds before I get to spawn. People will sometimes come up right behind me. Though there's a few times where you see me all of a sudden this face plant, I just drop to the ground and they get lit up, and I was like, "You're not using me as cover, goddamn it!"
Don't listen to him. He actually tries to run and he slips and falls, and he's 90% of the time on the ground.
I've seen those videos. Yes, I've seen those videos. So there's proof.
Like his mind's going this way, but his body said nope. Boom.
Oh, when I fall, yeah, that's because I swear they polish.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, that shit hurt. That hurted bad. I'm trying to. Oh, I think this is actually the part.
No, but yeah, Op 31. But I've been to Route 7. I helped the guy Bo and I forgot the other gentleman's name. They're from the church, really good people. I brought them pallets. Actually, me and Bo, he actually works for a company, a roofing company that I actually service
Nice.
and train, and I train their people. Yeah, I train their people. So, really good people, but they're shut down also. I mean, I think they've been shut down for a while since the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's where I was going because Route 7 and Op 31 are literally the same distance to me. Going north for them is going south, and going to Op 31 is north for me. So, but I mean, Op 31 just has way better structure, like stuff. You know, Route 7 is perfect for sniping, though. I have a blast over there with my SSG 24.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want my SSG 10, damn it.
Come back. I would love to see Route 7 come back. We actually used to play there. We would rotate.
All the stuff that Doomsday had built there, it's still there, but it's just all flat.
Yeah. One of the reasons why we went to every other weekend, we're only open every other Saturday, and we did that one, because we have families and lives, and we don't want to get in trouble, and I'm divorced twice already. I'm not trying to, when number three,
I know the feeling.
right? My fiance loves me, but not that much.
I'm never getting married again. I'm doing this one time, and that's it.
That's what I said too.
Liar.
Good luck.
Liar.
No. In my culture is a one-time deal. After that, freedom, baby.
We just kill them. Freedom.
They also do a lot of stabbing in your culture, don't they? Like cutting people.
No, it depends on what they've done.
No.
Depends on the degree.
Yeah,
Normally is stoning.
Oh, even better. No.
Oh wait.
I'd rather be like, all right, we're out. So no, we did that, and then we also did it because Christian Harris had Nomad, and they opened up a field up in Mayaca. And before that, they were running games over at Tracks and Trails. And instead of competing against each other, what we ended up doing was, for the community, we just split the weekends. So Christian would run one weekend at Tracks and Trails, and we would run a weekend at Op, and we would go back and forth. It kept the numbers up, it kept the variety going, it kept all that, and it really worked. It really worked very well for the whole community, for us, and it kept it alive for a long time. Right now, unfortunately, there's not a lot going on. I know there's a BB Farm, I think. I don't know exactly where they are. I know they just opened. Yeah, it's a place called BB Farm. I think Lucky, who used to run Benita Airsoft, opened up BB Farm. I'm not sure how well they're doing or anything about them. I just kind of heard. I know.
Look that up.
Where is BB Farm located?
Will you stop that, Wiener? That's contagious.
I thought they might be in Benita.
I actually work for a living. Sorry.
And
so do I, Dick.
And then there's also SBG, Jeremiah with SBG. They've got they got a field down there in not Lehigh. I'm trying to remember where he's at. Damn it, he's gonna kill me for forgetting. He's one of our biggest supporters, though. He big ups us all the time. And so we've got a lot of little fields that are trying to make their way up. And look, I believe in competition. Because to me that only helps the whole thing thrive. All
right. Real quick, Gary Garcia, spill the beans. Are we going back to the prison? Not on December 6th.
He's talking to Wiener? No.
Not on December 6th.
Not December 6th. They have live fire going. The main thing is they have live fire going on there, and they were going to still have live fire going on there when we wanted that weekend. That's why I said no.
Yeah. All right. So who wants
safety-wise?
So who wants to see a battery get blown up by a grenade?
If it's battery, I'll see it.
You're talking about?
I'm talking about you.
Like what type of grenades? It depends on the grenade.
You'll see. It's right here.
Oh yeah, that was me.
There goes Yordi, and there goes Tinker.
Yeah, actually,
walk of shame.
there was actually more people in there, and I got a little pissed off because once the grenade was off, all of us should have, everybody in the vicinity should have called out, and me and Tinker were the only ones that called out. I turned around and I'm like, hey. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you got hit, bro. That was a grenade. And he's like, I was more than 10 feet away. I'm like, dude, you were literally right next to me. Oh, fuck out. I hate that, man. It was like,
See, and that's one of the things that we try to do is we try to bring up the integrity. Like I call out my teammates a lot when we're at MA and everything else, because we want to make sure that if we're playing if we're at an event or doing something, it's like, yo, bro, you just got hit. It's like, why are you doing this? Because if that person actually took the shot at you and actually hit you, and it affects gameplay, especially if it's on a limited respawn game and everything else.
And also when you play in our community, especially here, like I see a person's face and I'll remember you. And if you do something negatively for the sport, I will always remember you. And it's awesome. On the same token, though, when you do the right thing, like the 2 times that I've been to your field, Greg, I have people come up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're the guy from YouTube." And I'm like, "Who? Oh, yeah. Here's a bet." Like that's cool. They remember you, and when you play the right way and you're honorable, they'll always remember you.
The second rule, and these were the 2 rules that John Sprazza left behind at Op 31. Rule number 2 was make a buddy, fist bump, high five, whatever, and it was the whole idea behind that is, and I expand on it when I give the safety brief, is if someone shoots you, call your hit, obviously, and know that it's your fault. If you got shot, that's on you, not on them, right? You should have been better. Congratulate them when you're coming off the field. Nice shot, dude. Good job. Nice shot. You got me. And don't be mad. No reason to be mad at them for doing what they did. It's your fault. Play better and you won't get shot. But congratulate them on what they did. They deserve the credit for getting the shot. I have also found that the more you do that, the better the gameplay. You feel better about it. You don't get mad anymore when you get shot. Like, oh, you got me. Instead of, damn it, and being all.
No, it's absolutely, because when I play, like if I'm like low crawling, sometimes I do low crawl or high crawl, get on my knees and do the damn thing, and I get shot, but at the same time I'm like, man, I should move a little bit to the right, maybe I should flank this way, and I don't. I'm like, what, I'm gonna stay here, and I get shot. I'm like, god damn it, I should have gone right. Hey man, good shot, you got me.
Yeah.
So here's that instance where I've talked about before. So where it's really important not to call on something. I don't have the zoomed in video on this, but this was the incident that me and Bowman got into it on.
Talking the shoot him in the face guy?
No.
Oh.
You're not showing anything, right?
Right.
Oh shit. Oh,
Yeah.
that doesn't help.
It sounds great. No, it really sounds
awesome. That sounds awesome.
Y'all are a bunch of jerks, you know that?
We love you too.
There we go.
To be fair, earshots hurt.
Oh, this is not the earshot one. I could not yet.
Oh, man.
See? Is it not loud enough on there? Did you guys hear it?
Can't hear it now.
All right, hold on. I'll try jacking the volume up.
I can't make it out. I don't know if you guys.
Okay. So the call out on it was wait.
Come on, man.
That's where I thought I hit him.
Uh-huh.
And I played it back and it didn't look like it did. The argument going back and forth in the background is it's like Johnny goes, "Hey," Bowman goes, "What?" And then Bowman goes, "It's the same guy everybody's bitching about because I pissed off him and I pissed off somebody else because I called out for what I saw. Now, if you heard, I really didn't yell that. I just evidently he's got really good hearing because I literally just said it like I didn't yell it out. 3.
Come on, man.
See, I said it. I didn't. That's
Yeah.
my venting. You know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but
Obviously,
there's a little secret about op though. By the way, if you talk down any one of those lanes, you can actually hear it at the 3-story. You can hear it all the way. I don't know how the acoustics work like that, but I tell people all the time, if you're sneaking, shut up. They will hear you. You can hear it. It doesn't take much. I don't know. Somehow there's magic trees. I don't know what it is, but they actually can hear. You can hear all the way down there.
That's all.
But yeah, you're right, man. All it takes is thinking you hit someone, then trying to call them out, and then realizing you were wrong. How do you draw that back?
We allowed to shoot through this crack? But he can shoot us. But he can shoot at us.
so I watched the. Oh, is it still showing?
No.
Oh no, we're the
Okay.
volume though.
Did you see that? All right. So this is the whole crack incident, right? So I asked the question, can we shoot through the crack? And I was told specifically, yes, it just doesn't count.
Yeah.
He's shooting down through, he's shooting down out. And I'm not going to play the entire video because I fast it was, right?
Well, Tiny got mad here.
Watch. Yeah, I'm not going to play it all.
Yeah, don't show that.
See those 2 shots? Yeah, I'll play that. It's like a blink if you miss it. There's Tinker right there.
Uh-huh.
Watch.
They didn't go in.
It did. It went right underneath the crack right there.
Okay.
And it got him right in the ear.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't count. But it caused for an explosion. We're not going to play the rest of the video because it's it's not fair to anybody. It was hot. People were frustrated. He got shot right in the ear and his ear was bleeding. So I definitely understand why he was upset. But that's all it was. It's like he wasn't. You saw Tinker was just trying to agitate because he went up and decided to go to the side to try taking him out. So. And then Tinker's all like, here's my gun. Because he goes, your gun's shooting hot. He goes, chrono it. Here it is. It's a standard high kappa. You know, nothing's really been done to it. But the point of it was, it's like, it'll say a lot of stuff that's there. From my perspective, it looked like I hit him. But I played back the video. And I zoomed in and everything else. And it's not definitive. So what I did was, the very next weekend that I was up there, I went up and apologized to Bowman and said, look, I can't tell for sure. From my perspective, it looked like it might have hit you, but at the same time, it looks like it might have hit the wood that was right there. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt and saying, I'm sorry, I should not have called. I should not have said anything. You know, even though I'm playing back the video, I said it real light. That thing must have carried. And it really wasn't like I was yelling, you fucking cheater. But at the same time, it's like, this is an honor sport. And we should, if you're wrong, you should admit to something, you know? So, okay. Oh, look, Scott Chin. So if you guys don't know who Scott Chin is, he is the guy that runs Gunny's Warfare Center up in North Carolina. You were there for Scorpion Tail.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, that's right. You were not there. So if you guys have a chance to go up to North Carolina, they're south of Charlotte and Waxhaw. He has a really nice field, and he puts on some pretty good events and all that. So it's always going to be one of those things, I think, that I don't think I'm ever going to grow out of saying, oh, man, come on, or stupid shit like that, or just going up and saying, hey, you're hit. Call your hit.
You'd be surprised. Seriously, you'd be surprised, man. It doesn't wear on you quite as much the longer you play. You feel, you begin to realize that there's a percentage of the sport that it will always be. When you begin to think more about your own integrity over time, I mean, look, it doesn't seem like it, but I've seen it happen, in the 6 years, which is nothing compared to some people that have been playing for, 15. But in the 6 years that I've been playing, I know I've changed. But in the 3 years that I've been working on the field and 2 years I've been running it, I've seen from kids go from 15 to 17, or adults even as they play. You do see the change. I wasn't pointing at you, Wiener, but maybe we could. You do see the change. You really do, because you go from everything matters and every moment matters and every round matters and all this kind of to let me worry about my game. And it's not a personal integrity thing. It really is. It's the infection of the game. You feel a certain way when you're out there playing, and you have to become a whole different. It just happens. It's a maturity. It's a game maturity, not a personal maturity.
I was going to pull up a thing of like Gunny's gun truck shooting me, but evidently I don't have that video on here. I don't know why. So, I mean, pretty much, I think that my personality wise, it's always going to be one of those things where, I'm not even being an asshole about it anymore. It's like sort of what you saw in the video when I walked up to Dallas and said, hey, I'm watching my stuff bounce off. Are you going to call it? And he's like, no. I was like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to shoot you some more. That's what it boils down to. And I try not to do a whole lot of yelling. Although it's funny that Gunny is watching right now, because at Scorpion Tail, there was a guy that had a massive issue yelling and screaming and everything else. And then I lost my temper a little bit and yelled back, and said some bad words, because the guy really calling hits on me when I wasn't even, and even his partner up top saying, it's not him I shot, it's the other guy. So it's, I'll give shout outs to certain like fields and everything else. You guys handled it right. So does Scott. His ref shut down all discussion. He goes, we're not having this discussion now, or you're both out. It's like, okay, I'll shut up now. But there's other fields where I've been to, like Miami Airsoft, where you go up to a ref and you tell a ref, and the ref's like, okay, all right, well, dude, they're not calling their hits. Well, what do you want us to do?
No.
Do something about it. Stop them. Maybe kick them out for a game or two. Maybe kick them out for the day, because we need to be able to see it. Then get your ass up on the towers and watch.
Do your job.
That's the key. And you've heard me. You and I've talked about it. You've heard me say it before. If I hear from one person about one person and a single incident, you weigh that when you're like, okay, well, maybe there's left side, right side, middle. But if it's a known incident or something like that, then I'll go out and you walk around that person who seems to be a problem. If you see it happen again, then you address it. Or if you haven't had a chance, but more than one person has come to you about it, then you go to that person, you go to them gently. There's no reason. People are already heated. You go to them gently. Hey, everything good? Everything okay? What's going on? I heard something happened. Are you okay? Start there. Let them come up. People will always tell on themselves. Given the right circumstances, people will always tell on themselves. People want to be honest, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And give them a chance to tell on themselves. If they won't, then you call them out.
Yeah, and
I agree with Scott. Yeah, absolutely.
Make fiends
Agreed.
at the end of the day.
Make fiends?
I'm sure.
Too small.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be friends, but they give a little.
No, it's fiends.
Well, let's show like what. So this is Gunny's field.
3 hours? Good God.
Yeah. We'll end this here pretty soon, but this is Gunny's field right here. We're playing a Defend the Alamo game, and we were doing a good job holding off because we had limited lives until the gun truck showed up. And like that window shot, there's the gun truck.
Yeah.
Look at Joker in his natural habitat, laying down on the ground.
Now, a little bit more backstory to that. Before this game, or the very next day, I was at Battalion. He shot me in the neck, like right smack in the middle of the neck, like right here. Very next
Good
day, I go
shot.
to battalion. I got nailed in the exact same spot. It was I was like, oh, from somebody shooting hot. But so, and then you can see you could have seen my broken clip on there. But
I do got to say that I feel for you guys when you say that you get shot in places and it hurts. I would like to point out that as an airsofter who is only the size of an 8th grader, I have a very small strike zone, right? And I move pretty quick. Generally speaking, when I get shot, it's kind of at the end of the Magnus effect, which means there's also rise to the BB. So a lot of my shots happen up in this area. I've learned to take it because there's nothing else. Where else are they going to hit? You know,
yeah.
If you're going to hit me, you're going to hit me. That's just all that's going to happen, right? So when you tell me you got hit here, I'm like, welcome to the club.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not saying this is not a competition, sir.
Dude, this nose and this forehead are freaking targets every damn Milsim event I've been to. I have scars on my nose for my first 3 major Milsim events.
I've got to right there between glasses and brim.
Yep.
Right in there, between glasses
That's
and
my.
brim.
Yep. Never fails.
And those suck the worst. Those make your eyes water and everything else. It's like, oh, because it's right there. It's like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, there's chunks of my nose missing for the first. Now I wear that face shield all the time, but back then, when Tigers didn't have those face shields out when I first started out, so I was like, oh, damn it, man.
And it's funny because people trash on them, and I'm like, those one Tigers face shields are
they're awesome.
the best I've seen.
The new ones with the earpiece. That's all I wear.
That's what I just got. Just picked it up.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah. Rob, that thing is going to last you like 3-4 years. Mine's still working, by the way.
Yep.
What's that? Just face shield?
Yeah, that one. But I only use that.
I have like 6 different ones of other colors, but because I'm now going up 4, I had to get black. So I just picked this up.
Yeah, I got
As
mine.
a matter of fact, I was at Combat Zone in Merritt Island. The new. Oh, it's actually they're in Cocoa now. The new shop up there. So
real quick, Wiener.
Yes.
Did they move their entire field yet, or what's
Yes.
going on with that?
Well, what happened was they had to close down that field because the lease ran out, and the guy's going to sell and put condos up there. At least that's my understanding. So he's got a new shop in Cocoa, which is right off of 520, which is like a main drag out to the beach side. So his business has increased there, which is awesome. Now he's got a field which is literally 1,000 steps from that shop, it's a good rural area out there for the field, but I haven't been off the field yet. But he has issues right now with the county with draining and stuff like that. So they're figuring hopefully by September, which will be good because it'll be cool, have the new field opened up. But he's doing good.
Oh, that's good. I was like, all right, that's awesome. I mean,
so eventually have a good outdoor field there with a bunch of buildings and things like that. But that's just going to take time. And then, like I said, he's got a new shop open, and I just went there and dropped a couple dimes down there. So I had to get gear for this off next week.
Yeah. So if Gunny, hopefully you're still watching. I just wanted to say the reason why the gun truck shot me was because I did this earlier.
Boom.
We got no motion in the video.
No motion on the video?
Nope.
I did, yeah.
There you go. Now it is. Now, whoop.
Oh, hold on.
There you go. There we go. Okay.
This was actually pretty funny too. This is Logan. He was out there taking video.
Here, let me get a better position.
Posing for him. Watch this. He looked out and said, fuck that.
He walked out in a firefight?
No, the gun truck was coming.
Oh, I gotcha.
Wait, got it. All right, here we go.
Damn gun trucks.
Looks like you dropped something.
I dropped my mag. There's the gun truck. Satchel charge.
Nice toss.
That means you got him?
Yeah, I got him. I took him out.
What was that? Threw back in?
They threw it back. They threw it back.
They threw it back to me, and I'm like, thank you. So that was, I did that earlier, and the gun truck was getting their revenge. I know they were.
Hey, gents, I have to hop off out of here.
Yeah.
Wife is already giving me the mean mug.
Yeah, it's actually typically we like to do these at 2 hours, and then we have great conversations with great people, and next thing you know, we look up and it's literally
3 hours.
3 hours, 2 hours, 50 more minutes. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate getting invited back on. I wasn't going to talk very much because I knew this is.
We
top
like to always try to
31,
have we always try to have like 4 people on, to give a
cool.
little bit of perspective and bring people on. And you were there, and I was like, oh, let me bring Wiener on. We'll bring you back.
When are we? When is the thing on up north about that field?
Which one you talking?
The one the hearing.
Oh, that is the 11th.
11th.
The
Yeah.
11th. All right. Make sure you call me. Remind me because I want to go.
Yeah, I'll find out.
You were live that night. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So if it's anything else, and this will probably wrap up for a solid 3 hours. So if it's anything like any other county commission hearing or public hearing or like local municipality public hearing, typically each person has a set amount of time to talk, but a lot of people can surrender time to somebody else, so they get one speaker, and usually county commissioners like that because then it's usually a concise message that's being sent. So we're hoping to get a few out there because I'm actually going to speak up about them. I'm starting up a petition tonight or tomorrow in regards to it. And I just want to make something really clear. I don't take any real pleasure in doing this. Airsoft is one bad accident away from being highly regulated or shut down across the country. If you really think about it, it's one bad accident away. In a certain field, which we're not going to mention them on this stream, we already have another stream dedicated to it, is going to cause that bad accident that causes massive regulation or banning within states, because New York's just looking for an excuse. It's obvious because they've already arrested people.
Isn't Maine
Massachusetts?
Illegal? Massachusetts
is looking for that. Oh. Massachusetts was looking at banning it as well, but luckily that legislation got passed off. Yeah. So for me to actually take time to drive 200 and some odd miles up to sit at a county hearing to get a chance to speak up speaks volumes to how bad that they really screwed up. Because look, most of the time if somebody pisses me off, I just won't shop there anymore. There's a certain tech shop down here in Florida, South Florida, that I won't go to because they are bad and they did stuff. We're not mentioning their names either because it's not needed to. But the fact is, I would just ignore them and just not shop there. Right? That's simple. This is not that simple. That's a good phrase of words. I did not intend to do that, but that was great. I really did not intend to do that. But the reality is, it's like this field could end up impacting every other field in the state of Florida if something bad happens at their field. And that's the last thing that we want. The last thing we want is to have fields shut down because one person doesn't want to follow state, county, and federal regulations.
Listen, they had all the clues in the world. If you see that every single other field is doing shutting down, why didn't you? What makes you so special?
It wasn't even just that. I mean, it's
right.
If you actually go through the laundry list of stuff that's a problem there, they're illegally dumping on their field. So that's why they had that big pit in there. Imagine because people are camping out there, somebody gets drunk, decides to wander the field and get stuck in that pit, they could have easily died or drowned overnight. So it's stuff like that. And then if they would have responded appropriately, I wouldn't be taking time out of my in 2 days because I'm gonna have to go up and probably come back. So I'm
trigger.
Check my Facebook profile sometime and see if I don't love brown
I
people.
know.
Fucking hell. That's why it's a concern, because something like this can negatively impact our industry to the point where we can have things shut down, or Doomsday might not be able to put on events with helicopters anymore because something stupid happened at Raptor Airsoft.
Right.
That's why I'm fighting it so hard.
Oops.
Wait, what do you mean? Oops.
You said the name.
Nameless. Shall remain nameless.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care.
You're horrible at keeping secrets. No wonder you don't have no secret clearance.
Like I said, the only thing to do is go to my channel that they're currently watching on and see the very previous video where we trashed the hell out of them. But that's the fact that goes down the line is, you are one accident away from the bad accident away from this industry being heavily regulated.
Yeah.
And remember at that event up in Atlanta or in Georgia, where there was the guy that got stuck between two vehicles.
Really?
Literally. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was at
We won't. We won't say the place or the facility there because it's not, we don't want people to think bad things on it. But a safety issue happened and a guy got stuck between two vehicles. Had to be. Luckily,
that was not the event or the field's fault. That was that guy's dumb.
It was two vehicle. It was the vehicle driver and the person that decided to walk between two vehicles.
Yeah, the guy that walked between the guy in between was the one at fault, not the vehicle.
But there's also that's safety regulations though, and that's like a whole nother stream. So we are right at 3 hours, guys. I want to go ahead and say thank you to Greg, the man, the myth, the legend, Papa from DEO, Dead End Outfitters, Op 31. The smallest, most powerful man I know in the airsoft industry. Greg, thank you very much for coming on. Wiener, it's always a pleasure to have you on, even though you weren't talking that much.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah. And of course, one of my partners in crime there, Battery from Assault and Battery Airsoft. I am Joker from Players Wanted, and we're just going to go ahead and say good night.
Night.
Good night, guys.
Thanks.
All right.